Raw Comedy Podcast.
Welcome to the Raw Comedy Podcast. Brought to you by Bangkok's weekly open mic and home for stand-up comedy.
Floppy floppy. Naughty wrecked wiener.
Yeah, right. Thick, full, like nice full wieners. Nice full penis.
Because you see that dude, Hodor, you see his dick, and he's got a giant hog.
He has a giant hog?
His dick is enormous.
In South Park?
No, in Game of Thrones.
Hodor.
Yeah. So like
He's big though. He's a big dude, right?
He's a big dude. And he's like bathing in the pond in the Godswood. And he comes out, and his dick is just, and he's all like, you Hodor. And his dick is enormous, right?
His name should have been Hokok.
Yeah. And then that wildling lady is like, that one's got giant's blood in him, I'm sure. And then she kind of looks at his big dick and she's like, ooh, it's huge.
That's so fucking gay and dumb. That's so stupid. But that's art. I can't talk shit.
Yeah, it's art, bro.
It's art. It's art.
Art from the gods.
Let's see. Let's bring us in nice and easy here. Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to the Raw Comedy Podcast. We're back at it again. We were just talking about. Justin was just explaining Hodor and his giant dick. Apparently,
yeah, it's huge. It's like fucking 8 inches at least, and it's thick. And it's flaccid. He just got out of cold water too. So like, imagine that thing when it's fully torqued, bud.
Do you think he got extra torque when he was carrying the little guy on his back?
Probably. I don't know. He's kind of retarded. So.
Dude, I've never seen this.
You've never seen Hodor's
Is he like
dick?
Hagrid? Is he bigger than? Could he beat Hagrid in a fight?
Yeah, they're about the same size.
See, that's what that used to happen in Harry Potter. Then Hagrid needs to whip his dick out. Just get some respect, dude. Right. And also, if you were a wizard. Right?
Why wouldn't you just pick your dick back?
Dude, the first thing I would do is like learn a spell to make my dick like 1,000 feet long.
Biggest dickiness.
That's like,
and then you lose control and it's too big.
Oh! And then Mrs. McGonagall's got to come back and like, oh, Harry, and fix it.
He's at it again.
You're a wizard, Harry. Oh, cool. What's the spell to make your dick enormous?
They would all be doing that.
What's the spell to make me rich and not live in my grandma's or my step-parents' staircase?
He lives under the stairs.
Yeah, dude, he lives under the stairs.
Yeah, it fucking sucks. Why do they treat him so shitty? Like, I've never actually read that.
Because he's Jewish, actually. He's like a quarter Jewish, so they're like, dude, no.
So they're doing some Anne Frank shit?
I don't know. They're just disrespectful. I don't know.
Yeah, but they didn't.
I think it's because they were muggles, right? And they knew that he was like some kind of big dick wizard. But he didn't know it yet. Yeah. So they were jealous of him, kind of thing. Right, but
why? If you listen, if you had check this out, Justin. You have the fucking Michael Jackson of wizards, basically, or like
yeah, I'm nice.
You have like the Elon Musk of wizards living under your basement or in your staircase. All right, what do you do as a human? Wouldn't you exploit that somehow? Wouldn't you try?
Yeah, well, I would have, like Rick was saying, like be nice to him.
Yeah.
And then he can make you rich and shit, and he can make your dicks bigger too.
Wow.
Or yeah, right, dude. He's like, yo, man, I got this magic.
Yeah, but or you also don't want to be mean to him because he can kill you with respect. Yeah. Like I'd be like respect. Like,
so like years later, when Harry does his training and stuff, I don't know what his stepdad's name is or whatever. His foster parents.
He did inflate them in balloons.
What's the name?
Dudley.
Dudley. So he's like, Harry, listen, I've been really cool to you, and I know you're getting a lot of wizard training. Bro, can you help me out with this? And he just whips out his fucking little micro penis.
See, I feel like Dudley and Harry, there was a huge chance to make a connection there.
Yeah.
But J.K. fucking never touched it. She never did shit with it.
Yeah, I thought
that's like not good.
It's like Dudley.
So are you saying?
It's like, who's Dudley would just walking around like, yeah, my cousin's fucking a wizard and shit. Like, who the fuck is this guy?
Well, what I thought was interesting
in the real world.
There was never, if I remember correctly, there was never any redemption for that family. Like, and it was just doubling down on how much of a piece of shit family they all were all the time. And every time we'd be like, oh, this time they're gonna be nice. No. They end up being like betraying him, double, tripling down. It's like at some point you should be like,
Yeah, right.
Like,
Yeah, there's no character arc there for them.
They don't get better.
But I guess they're kind of like they're the role. It's like a trope, right? They're like Cinderella's stepsisters, right?
Yeah, I get it. But over 8
nothing-
movies or however
Nothing
many
bad
movies,
happens to them? Well, actually, you didn't write about this, but Harry actually goes back and rapes Dudley. All right. So
Yeah,
don't
but
feel
you would
bad.
think he'd be nicer. But
Also, when chicks try to make their tits bigger, like I took a potion. This is a potion to make fucking your tits bigger, chick. Hey, take a sip.
Dude.
Right?
I wish that potion existed.
yeah, but it would be the thing. The thing is that if it was up to women to take that potion, they wouldn't necessarily take it,
Right.
because none of them want massive boobs.
Listen,
that are
I gotta go
heavy
ahead.
to carry. No, they're heavy, dude.
Yeah, but
They'll want to get rid of them at some point.
so some girls get like back problems,
Yeah.
because their fat naturals are just way too big, and so they get breast reduction surgery, which sucks. That's not cool. But some girls are just happy to just deal with the back problems and have giant tits.
Yes, I mean, I'm sure some of them would take enormous amounts of potions. But if you had a potion to get a big dick, every single guy would drink as much potion as they could find.
Sell this shit out
There
of
wouldn't
that
be a
potion.
debate.
But to a certain point, you don't want to have a freakishly big. You
No,
just
no,
wanna
it's
have-
just,
of
no,
course you
but when
do.
you're a kid, when you're like 11 years old and you first find out magic, like,
Yeah.
was that not the first thing you fuck with?
Sure.
Sure, right? Yeah.
But like, you don't want like a 14-inch cock.
No,
Like,
that's maybe
that's
when
too
you're
much.
maybe when you're a kid you do that because you're an idiot.
And then,
Or you
Yeah,
get
but
older
you
and change it.
yeah, but I guess
Well,
you
you
can
don't
change
fuck
it
it. I
back
like my
later.
giant fake guy. I like my
Like, let's say that, for example, like.
guys are stupid like that.
No, but like if you're perceived as in school like I was as a loser, right? So I know I'm not gonna get any pussy. So it's not about having sex. Because I'm not gonna get pussy.
No, it's about getting respect from you.
But if I have a 14-inch or 25-inch cock, that's gonna be like, here's my penis. Just argue with this.
I win. Fuck you.
No more bullying. And then the rumor would get around that
Yes.
your dick is enormous, and then you probably would end up getting laid.
Yeah, totally. You would totally.
I would I would be able to put in like 10% of my penis, but
Yeah.
I would get.
But no girl actually wants to deal with a 25-inch cock. Like, what's 25 inches is like.
But they would all want to see it.
They would
You'd
want
be
to
more
see it.
cock. You'd be more cock than man at that point. All right, you wouldn't even have a personality.
Right.
You'd just be a cock.
Your cock is bigger than one of your arms.
Your cock is just who you are now, and the cock is just.
It would be uncomfortable.
But I'm saying-
How do you wear pants? Like, it goes down one
I
pant
wouldn't.
leg,
I just
and-
wouldn't.
And you tuck it into your sock.
No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't care. It would be there on display for everyone to
Well,
see.
listen,
Just like,
if
here it is. Here's
If
my
you had
giant
magic, dude, if you knew magic, the first thing you would do is give yourself a fucking monster hog, dude. That's the first thing. That's like before anything else. How do I get it out? The first I would have asked Hagrid. Like as soon as Hagrid met Harry, I would be like Hagrid, like, oh shit, dude, yo, how do you get a monster hog? Like, is there a spell for this monster fucking?
I want it to be girthy enough to hug it. Like, I want to hug it. I want to be my friend.
You have to jerk off like this. You gotta climb your own
You
dick.
gotta climb your dick like a beanstalk. Jack off. Oh my god. That's just childish.
Well, this dick got way bigger. Like, I was picturing like this fat, but like
Just like, yeah,
Like
dude,
fucking-
it would be like retarded. Yeah, we would
like it's touching your ceiling.
Dude,
And the funniest part would be like, so you do the spell, you get a massive penis, and then you have to have a conversation with your parents. So you go to dinner like, here's
So
here's
Chris,
my penis.
how was wizard school?
dude, I was
Awesome.
yo, I got the mom. You never check out what I learned today in wizard
Oh,
school.
man. If your dick was that big, would you shoot bigger loads too, or is you just
It's a tiny load, just at the bottom.
I think it would be. Hopefully the balls get bigger, or the balls stay the same size.
The balls
it's a
should stay the
separate
same
spell. That
size.
makes sense.
Yeah.
It's a separate spell.
But
Make
if
my
the balls stay
bigger.
the same size, there's a chance that actually your load wouldn't even come out of it.
right? Because you don't have enough.
Strength.
You don't have enough. What do you call it?
Yeah.
Like lift,
Pressure or-
thrust.
Yeah.
Dude, magic doesn't make sense.
Yeah, because that's why it's not real.
No, but just think about the idea that if I say something in a certain order, that something will happen, and like the laws of it'll defy the laws of physics.
Yeah.
And
But I've
gravity.
seen you try that talking to women, where you're saying certain words in a certain order, trying to wait for things to happen.
That's different.
Yeah.
That's like you're trying to like hack into the system.
That's magic, though.
It is kind of magic,
That is
isn't it?
hacking in. Yeah, that's a great way to put it.
Yeah. Yeah, you're just like you're trying to get past the firewall. So you're using different passwords and shit. And then one of them finally works. It's not really magic. It's like trial and error.
Yeah, but once you're through, you have to like stay there and not get rejected by the system because the system is constantly trying.
Yeah,
to,
it's
like,
trying to get you out.
Yeah, it's
right.
trying to get you out.
Yeah.
I want to talk about magic and wizards and shit.
Yeah.
That was so
Talk
much
about
better. That was so much better. Yeah. But that's why think about magic though. Let's just seriously, for real, think about magic for a second.
Okay.
All right?
I was wondering the other day, what's the difference between a wizard and like a sorcerer? Like, why are there different names for any of this shit? Like, there's magicians, sorcerers, wizards,
Warlock.
all of these names, and I don't understand the difference.
I think they're all like synonyms, but I think like a sorcerer is like evil and a wizard's like a good guy.
Ah, interesting. Is Sauron a sorcerer or wizard?
I don't know what the fuck that guy is.
Yeah, what does that do, dude? And
He's just like a evil energy.
dude, I think about magic, all right, and like, all right.
Like real,
Because-
like,
no, but
like
who, like-
today's magic
All
or
right,
like
no, but think
fictional
about
magic.
it. Say something like in Harry Potter magic. They say something and something they say something you can kind of pronounce in English,
Yes.
and then it somehow changes the laws of gravity and
Right.
physics.
You
and
say some
everything.
shit that sounds
And it-
Latin.
right? And like, so who the fuck invented magic? How was this?
Who
how,
tried that first?
like, how is this possible? Like,
Like
where
some
did it
dude,
come from?
He's got his fucking little wand,
What is this?
and he's just trying shit.
He's just
And
holding
he's
his
just
fixation.
and he's just biggest, dickiest, and largest penis.
Dude, I bet you there were dudes back in the day that would just hold up sticks and like say shit and try to find.
And then it works, and then he's like, "Oh fuck, my dick is huge now."
Do you think it's related to the people
makes
with
sense.
sticks that find water?
That's a weird thing, actually. I don't know.
How does that even work?
I think it's all bullshit, actually.
No.
No.
Yeah, the
People
guy-
actually find
Water.
underground water veins that way because
Oh,
it
that
makes the
makes
fucking
sense.
stick vibrate or something.
No, it makes sense because it's the Earth is trying. It's like a root. It's like imagine if that limb was extending its roots and looking for.
Oh, it's like
water
trying to
in the
yeah.
soil.
I don't know. I think I read about it
So you gotta, like,
years
hold it.
ago, and I can't remember whether it was actually real or whether actually the stick thing was fake. But they knew the topology and they could actually read the terrain, so they were actually having like they had a thought process about where water should be.
Right.
So
the stick thing.
was a gimmick
Right. Maybe.
to make them more like mystical that you can't do what I do.
Who are the people that invented the stick thing?
I don't know.
Do you know that?
No, I don't know.
That's weird, dude.
But
Water's-
also like the what do you call it the
Mallet?
no the thing from the Harry Potter.
The wand?
The-
The wand.
Yeah.
Since when do magicians have wands? Like, why do they have wands?
Yeah.
Why can't they point with a finger? Like,
Right.
why? What's the wand thing about?
Why do they
Well-
gotta go to the wand store and get like a size?
It's like-
9
it's like a
9
Lord
and
of the
a half,
Rings.
like it's a fucking shoe or some
But
shit.
He has a staff.
He has a staff.
Why
doesn't
does he
have
need
one.
a staff?
Yeah, so it's like, could anybody be the wizard? I just need the staff.
I can understand the case like the movies where the staff or the wand has magical properties in itself, like where they say that it's being like enchanted or has like gem of power or whatever it is.
Uh-huh.
But why would you need a piece of wood to do magic?
Because it's like your tool. It's like a baseball bat. Like you need it to play.
I just think it's what.
But would you still be effective without it? Could you still do something? Because eventually you didn't fucking always have the stick, but you've always been able to access magic, right?
I guess so. Does Harry at one point, does he break his wand?
Yeah.
And
then what?
Doesn't some guys
get
wand,
somebody else's wand,
Ron,
kinda,
like Ron
so-
Weasley's wand breaks,
Yeah.
so he like tapes it up, and now it's like it like just shoots the
Now
wand.
it's kinda shitty.
Like, what the fuck is
Yeah.
that? It doesn't even make sense. And every person is like a size wand, all right, and like everyone's like unique.
The wand
Wands
chooses
are
you.
uniques.
They go to the wand,
It's
the wand shop that shop
it's
with the wands.
Yeah, how convenient. All right, the wand chooses you.
I bought a replica of one of
Oh
those
my god.
for a gift.
Not
Bullshit.
for your Harry Potter
Well,
costume.
No, for however much of a nerd I am, I don't collect Harry Potter
Listen,
shit.
if you ever went outside and then you and your friend pointed sticks at each other and yelled
Yes.
shit, then you guys were all the same then. That's what that means.
Yes.
I never thought Harry Potter was cool.
Nerds.
Because I thought Lord of the Rings was so much cooler.
But those are two totally mutually exclusive.
Yeah, they're
That's
things.
like that's like
Yeah.
in the South Park episode, they're playing Lord of the Rings.
Oh,
And
yeah.
then there's a bunch of kids playing Harry Potter. And Cartman's like, ha, fags. And then at one
great.
point, like somebody in their crew quits, and he's like, "Go ahead and play Harry Butthole Pussy Potter."
But the thing is that
That's so funny.
the Lord of the Rings movies have a much higher homosexual component than Harry Potter.
Yeah, Harry Potter. There's like
There's a
girls.
chance.
Yeah, there's more girls.
Yeah.
And it's less.
Is there more girls?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Of course, the whole sororities of girls.
Right, there's like Hermione.
Yeah, that's all the one. Yeah, dude. That was a great. I don't know. It's weird. It's weird that I don't know. She's just, dude. I had a crush on her when I was like 11.
You still have a crush. So now you have a crush.
I think
on
she's
her
the same.
11 version
She's like the same age as us. So
She is the same age as us.
We grew up just crushing on her.
Yeah.
Which is crazy to me. It's like, yo,
What?
you guys like, because these are adults that made these choices, and it's like back in the day.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, we want the kid. Oh.
Yeah, that's a weird job.
Yeah,
Like,
it's a
if you're a
weird job.
casting director who's got to find a hot 12-year-old,
Hopefully it's a
that's,
chick,
that's
though.
weird.
I'd be more comfortable if it was a woman made that decision for sure.
That
You don't
would,
know.
yes,
You don't know who the
right.
casting director was.
No, I
It's
don't.
probably a whole team decision.
Dude,
so-
I used to think movies are just like one guy that just did everything. This guy just got.
And also,
everything.
I find that
That's so
for
stupid.
the time,
When I
like
was a kid.
Hermione was one of the least, like for her age or whatever. I didn't see her as a sexualized character at all.
No, not at
Until,
all.
like-
Until she
Not
got
at all.
hot.
No, like until they played it into the narrative.
Bro,
It's
I've
like,
had a
now they're
crush on
16
Hermione
and
since
they're-
day one, dude. Since I was like 9.
Yeah, but you had
I
a
just
crush
heard-
because you thought she was cute, but like it wasn't.
I've heard
you
about
know.
her in the book, and then I liked what I saw on the screen. I'm like, fuck it, I like this chick.
I never read the books.
Yeah. So you were saying you used to think that like one guy made all the movies?
Hold on, before we get there, I just want to talk about Quidditch for a second, if that's okay. Hey, you're a
Sure.
sports guy, Justin. What do you think of Quidditch, dude?
You just like Quidditch because you played lacrosse.
It's kind of the
think
same.
it's kind of like it's like
No, it's not.
It's
It's not. No,
lacrosse
no,
if you
no.
can fly.
No, that's so.
It's closer to lacrosse than any other sport.
Is it?
Well, it's kind of like no, it's weird. It's not like any other thing. I don't even. I haven't really watched the movie.
No, but here's the thing. Why a broom? Like, why a broom? It could
So
be
yeah,
anything.
why? So
It could be
it's kind of like
anything.
your wand question. Why is it
Why
that
a
witches
broom?
fly on brooms?
Why can't we just fucking fly? Like, why do
Why
we
do
need
you
a
need a
fucking
broom?
broom? Can't you just fucking jump and just fly to China right now and do whatever? You know
Because
what I
the
mean?
broom's it's like a magic broom. It's like the vehicle.
I think it's like some marketing.
See, and
ploy.
like, but the thing,
everybody has a broom.
But you could go to a place and buy the Firebolt 5000 or whatever, which is like the same broom, like the top of the line broom for every wizard
Right.
in the world. That doesn't make any sense. Like, you tell me, so there's a magic
Is
broom.
that like? So do they?
So what is this?
Do they have
Sporting
like
goods
good brooms? Do they have like the Eastern Synergy broom?
Yes,
like,
they do.
like
Yeah, they
it's
have.
like
dude?
like
It's
the sick one piece broom. Like they don't use wood anymore. They use like
Yeah.
carbon fibers
Dude,
and shit.
It's like a corporate. They made like a corporate world. Basically, it's like
Yeah,
the wizard.
there's like the
corporate
Bauer
wizard-
Vapor.
It's like a corporate wizard world that's like ultimately.
They're like hockey sticks, basically.
Yeah.
or baseball bats. Or
Magic Canadian, and like any Canadian wizards, like, well, hey there, still young, Mister Butt, and fucking like
Yeah,
turn
of
into
course,
like
yeah,
a
but-
Wayne Gretzky or some shit, or whatever
Yeah.
the fuck, right? I don't know. To answer your earlier question, when I was younger, yes, I did think I thought movies were like, yeah, when I was like really young, yeah, I thought it was like one dude that, yeah,
Just
I'm like,
made all
oh,
of them.
Steven Spielberg, oh, he did all of this, like, holy shit, and then like, nah, he just did like most of it. Or
He just
whatever.
did like 80% of
He
them.
just did a lot of it.
Um,
Something like
yeah,
that.
well, that's pretty stupid.
Yeah, stupid. Well, fuck you.
it is incredibly dumb. Like, it's very,
I built this shit.
Yeah, well-
See this shit? Me, motherfucker.
He goes, yeah, well, fuck you. No, but that's one of those kid things that you just believe when you're a kid, and like nobody's corrected you because you're an idiot. But you just
I
haven't
don't have the heart to
you
tell
just
him.
haven't told anybody. Because I'm sure I thought shit like that too when I can't think of anything, but for sure you have all these dumb like kid beliefs. Yeah, like okay, yeah. So I saw I didn't know what an immigrant was, right? And there's that Simpsons episode where they're starting to get all angry at the immigrants. I forget why. And I was like, so is an immigrant, because like they're making fun of Uter because he's German, and then they're making fun of Willie because he's Scottish. And I was like, so immigrants are people from like countries where people wear green, so like Irish and Scottish and German, those are immigrants.
Okay.
And I was like, but why is Apu an immigrant? I didn't really get it.
Wow, really?
Because I was like, he's different from the other ones. The other ones are like Europeans.
Interesting.
And I asked my grandpa, I was like, what is... So I said, like, so immigrants are people from Ireland and Scotland and Germany and
Sure, you
India
agreed
for
to
some reason, right? And he was like, no, immigrants are just people from anywhere
Good answer.
that come to a new country. Well, that's what an immigrant is.
He's like, no,
So he-
these little.
I wonder, like, what, like, he must have been like, is my grandson retarded? Like, what?
It would have been
Yeah.
funny if he had given you like a super prejudiced answer. You know?
Yeah.
Immigrants are the people that steal our jobs and destroy our kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Like, you know what
Immigrants are just people that don't speak English and smell weird.
Immigrants is crazy, dude. I don't know. You were an immigrant, technically, right?
I guess so. Yeah.
Were you like an immigrant or like an expat?
Well, more of an immigrant, I guess. More.
Because did you become a Belgian citizen?
No, I could have. So I could have become a Belgian citizen when I turned 18. I couldn't do it before.
When did you move to Belgium?
When I was 7.
Wow.
So you're like
I was moved to Belgium.
right. It wasn't your.
Yeah.
You didn't get like a promotion.
Did you fight this as a child? Not fight it, but were you upset about moving?
Oh, I got conned into it. My parents lied to me.
Wow.
When I say my parents, so my mom married a Belgian dude, and then we moved. And then my mom told me we're going to Belgium on holidays,
And then it was a permanent.
and then we stayed.
So
there.
we're going on holiday, so make sure you pack
And then
everything
after
you
it was
own.
Easter
Truck.
holidays, and then we got to Belgium, and she said, "Oh, now you're gonna go to school here."
Oh my god, dude! How fucking
That's like pretty bad parenting,
dude!
The list of things I can talk about is pretty long.
Yeah,
Wow, man.
but
That's pretty
It's
unfair.
kind of smart though. She did it to you like gradually. Yeah, now we
She
just
didn't want
live
to
here.
hear about. She wanted to see me cry in the car, I guess. And to
Yeah,
be
so
with
she
me and,
just
like,
tricked you.
But
I
that's
guess
selfish.
that makes sense.
That's selfish. She should just let you express yourself.
Yeah.
What she could have told, what she could have done
That'd be
is
fair.
instead of like doing it like that, she could have told me like way in advance, and then let me get my tantrum out,
And
like
then-
3 weeks out or 1
Sure,
month out,
yeah.
and then get me motivated and explain to me what I'm gonna get out of it.
right, like
and then-
a good parent.
Yeah, no, none of that. No.
Was she how young? You were 7.
Yeah.
That's pretty young.
You didn't speak French, right? So
I spoke 0 words of French, and then I went to public school in Belgium.
And
They
so you
threw me out in class.
and you
that's
can't,
it.
and you fucking in a new school and you don't understand anything.
Exactly. Yes. So they sat me down to the son of other Spanish immigrant parents, and he was born in Belgium, but he could speak some Spanish, and he was kind of translating the classes to me.
I guess like at that age you can pick up language like so
3
quickly.
months.
Yeah,
It's-
because and especially if you're in an environment like that where you need to survive. Like,
Yeah, it was survival. Yes,
Yeah.
survival.
God damn.
It just threw me there. Just like,
So,
here you
so
go.
now you speak perfect French though,
Yeah,
and perfect Spanish.
yeah.
Wow, and perfect.
But I
English.
had to study Spanish again.
yeah. Did you kind of lose your Spanish a bit?
Yeah, I did,
Yeah.
and I lost, and I started to have like a French accent when I spoke Spanish when I was
Right.
around 12, and I was like, I'm not having any of this. So I got some comments. I was like,
Yeah.
you kind of sound like. I was like, I'm not having any of this. I started watching more TV and reading more
Right.
books.
Yeah.
Because I'm like I'm losing my French now. Like I
You have to read, you
if
have
I-
to, like-
you have to read or like
Yeah.
watching Lupin and shit helps.
Yeah.
Dude,
But
that's
like I'm talking to my grandpa and shit, and I can't fucking like express because I don't have the vocabulary. It just doesn't come to me naturally anymore.
Yeah.
It's weird.
When I went to study in Spain for a year for my master's, I stayed with my grandparents, and I was kind of quite intimidated because my grandpa was like a super literary guy, and he had a publishing house, and he published books and stuff. And his father was a translator and writer, and so they were really good with words.
Interesting.
And so I had to write essays for university, and I was like, so I gave them to him to like, because I knew that my Spanish wasn't that good, and the first one he read was like, oh, actually wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. I was like,
Wow.
I felt so good that he thought I wasn't, and I'm pretty sure he was encouraging me. I know I had a great style or whatever, but it was functional. It was fit for purpose. It was grammatically correct, and it was alright.
Yeah.
And then I thought, okay, that's as good as it's ever gonna get.
Dude, that's crazy.
So but when you came to America, it was a similar situation, right? You didn't speak
Yeah.
any
How old were
English.
you?
I was 5.
Yeah.
You're like, it's like, dude, I feel like we both had just like we both have flashbacks of like being taken from our homelands as kids.
Yeah.
Holy fuck, dude. Yeah. Now it's
Yeah.
similar. I want to say we'll go back because I was gonna say, dude, you can speak 3, like you can just go back here because you're English. I just realized this, but like, how much time have you spent in America?
Just some holidays sometimes.
Right, but to me, like I'm picking up like a really. It's like it's such an American. I feel like I'm talking to American. If I close my eyes, you could be like, "Oh, I'm talking to like
Yeah, but there's a reason.
an American dude,
Well, no, he sounds vaguely European.
vaguely European, but like,
Sure.
right? It's
No, but I have pretty good slang.
Yeah, dude.
But the thing is, I specifically studied it. Like I was specifically watching TV and repeating words,
Dude.
and trying to like make sure what was the context for a specific expression.
Right.
Because a lot of slang is context based,
Sure.
and a lot of foreigners will use slang in the wrong way, just
Yeah.
not right, just not quite right.
Yeah.
And like I have a lot of friends who use "oh, you're such a sucker" instead of saying "asshole," because there's similar, like it sounds a little bit like "salaud" or something, and they use it wrong.
Yeah.
So to me, that mattered a lot. Like I need to.
What's wrong with calling somebody a sucker other than it being like weird 1950s?
Yeah,
slang?
unless you're from the fucking
No, because
shit. Yeah.
no, because the idea was like sucker is translated in French to pigeon. It's like somebody who gets conned, basically.
Right. Yeah.
Right. But they were using it as this is a mean person. He's such a sucker.
Oh yeah. Okay, that's
So
just wrong.
It was just wrong.
Yeah, it meant you're an asshole.
Yes.
Oh, I see.
So they were just using.
It's
it
funny
wrong.
how asshole is the slang word for somebody who's mean.
Yeah.
You're an asshole.
Or dickhead,
You're a real
kind
asshole,
of.
dick.
Also.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
I guess it's just because it's not very creative. It's like you're the part of the body that shits.
I mean, it's pretty.
Yeah, I guess it's...
You can't really do better than that.
You're calling
It's
him
a good
that,
insult,
the
but
worst
why?
part.
But why for a mean person? You know,
For a greedy
'cause
person?
my asshole is nice.
Because your asshole is mean.
My asshole
Your
is
asshole.
mean. Yeah,
What-
I guess because
what would be
it
better?
looks like an angry
What would be a
person.
better replacement?
I like it more in French. I don't know if you say that in Canada, but at least in Belgium and in France, we do say trou du cul.
Yeah, we say it too.
And we say trou du cul, which is literally hole of the ass.
Yeah.
You're a hole of
De
the
mon
ass.
cul, c'est un trou de cul.
Trou de cul. Trou du
Ah, c'est
cul.
un vrai trou de cul.
So wait, I got a question. One more. So you have three. So you have like three languages down.
Yeah,
Like mastered.
more, yes.
Mastered. Right. So
Okay, but
like,
some people have more. I mean,
but here's the thing. Like I started off with Thai.
yeah,
But I'm not. I've never been able to just straight up. I know Thai, I can read Thai, I can write Thai, but I'm not a master, actually.
But
You know what I
Thai is an extremely difficult language to master if you're
Yeah,
not
but I
Thai.
knew this shit as a kid, though. They taught me this shit.
Right, so you
But
have-
they didn't teach me slang, so like I don't know how to like say, "Hey, what's up, you fucking motherfucker?" In
But
Thai.
you could learn it.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, but then that would take effort.
But that would take effort, and I'm
But the
already
difference
amazing.
was like, so I moved to Belgium.
Yeah.
But then when I was in Belgium, I had English class, I had Spanish class, I had French class, I had Dutch class.
What?
I also had German class.
the fuck.
Like
been a
I
whole
had a
thing.
lot of class. Like if you went to the US and you never had Thai class, how were you supposed to keep? Did you ever study Thai while you were in the US?
Dude, no, we studied Spanish. I don't speak Spanish either. Don't me, dude. Ask me to say something in Spanish.
Yeah,
I don't
but
know.
why wouldn't they make you study Thai?
Well,
There was
like,
no
there's
Thai
no-
teachers
yeah,
in
there's no
Chicago.
There's no reason
There,
for it.
there was
America.
Thai in my college,
Yeah.
and I went there and I said like, I remember I showed up I showed up to the class and I talked to the professor. And I'm from Thailand. I signed up for it and I showed up and I talked to him like, hey, I'm Thai and I can speak Thai, and he's like, oh, dude, like just come to my office and I'll test you, and if you pass, you can just fucking chill,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
I
that's
tried
some-
doing that because I went to an English university, and I wanted to because journalism was pretty hard. So, but I had a bunch of electives, and I was going to take a French class just because it would be mad easy, because it'd be like for as a second language, like,
Yeah.
and they didn't let me take it.
Wow.
I realize right now, like, because it's kind of hot. One of us has really bad BO, and I think it's me. Like, I just got like a waft.
I had bad
of, like-
BO
of like
up until-
onion.
Yeah, that's you.
That's
Yeah.
you.
Let me know when it's like popcorn, like a buttery, like vinegar or whatever. That's like my Asian.
Wait, you
know?
smell like when you get into a taxi and there's like
Oh, yeah,
Like a
that's
funk?
bad.
Yeah,
and it's like a kind of sweet,
Right.
like sickly smell. Is that what your BO is like?
I don't know. I think, dude, I can't.
Because mine is just straight up like onion.
No,
But I can-
He
I-
doesn't smell like that.
I like to. Well, different, dude. I don't know. That's weird, man. Different Asians smell like different. Like if you're North Asian, you have like a heavier. I would say a heavier. But if you're down south, it's like a.
I'll say this.
It's like a sweeter, like more pungent,
Yeah,
like a tropical.
When I
It's
was-
more of a tropical
But still
steak.
gross. Yeah,
When we lived in China,
yeah.
there were days where I would have to like be in an elevator or in a taxi after certain people,
Yeah.
and I know it's due to the diet, right? But
Yeah.
so it's like lower.
Chicken rice.
It's really no. It's lower class Chinese people will eat a lot of raw garlic, And dude, like I don't know why. Like maybe also like with my genes, I react differently to the smell. Like maybe Chinese people don't smell it as a bad smell.
Yeah, and then
but the way I smell it, I wanted to vomit like several times. I've been in the subway close next to people where I almost vomited. Just a reflex reaction.
Right.
And it's not their fault. They're not doing anything bad. They didn't even look dirty. It's just the smell was just I wanted to die.
Yeah. Well,
I don't know what it was, but it was just awful.
wanted to die.
no, but I know
die.
that like I've heard Thai people say that foreigners smell bad often. And so
Yeah,
there's
but
like a particular kind of fucking like backpacker smell.
Oh
Yeah.
So,
I know what
but
you're
that's
talking
weird how different like
People
ethnicities
smell like
differently.
It's amazing.
It's actually not.
But
weird.
also,
No, it's totally cool.
totally
though.
what you would expect.
But it's hilarious, dude. Like, but it's weird because cats. Have you ever smelled cats before? All cats kind of smell the
they
same.
kind of all smell the same.
They all
yeah.
smell like babies. They all smell
Like cat shit all smells the same.
yeah, not good.
But people like you could have a group of smelly dudes in a room, and then they would leave, and then I could come in, and I could tell you, I could tell you what they are.
I could, dude. I could point like within
That
100
happened to me in school.
Yeah.
within like 100 within 100 miles of like where their originated.
Yeah,
for sure.
Like down to the city.
yeah, like down to like the, yeah.
No, I'm saying like broad.
Not to
region.
the city.
Dude, I could get it down to like the country for sure. Within like either I can name it to like the country or a country touching
Like
that country.
That's Beirut. That's Beirut, Lebanon, right there.
But that's interesting. I want to, dude. Have there been studies about this, about BO and shit?
But it's probably considered kind of like taboo to talk
it's
about.
rude.
Like
Yeah,
it's
but-
but it's
taboo.
just a fact that.
Yeah.
But
that-
what I find interesting is not so much. I understand that depending on your diet, you're gonna have a certain smells because you're sweat and blah blah blah. But there's also something about how we perceive smell because like something smells really bad to me, but not to you maybe, or not to
Chris
you
is
maybe.
like, that smells delicious.
No, but
are
like,
you saying are you saying that whenever someone whips open a fucking jackfruit or like a durian or some shit, I'm
No.
like
But like-
licking my
Yeah.
lips and shit? Nah,
but like the
that's
smell of
racist.
durian doesn't bother me that
That
much. For
grosses
example,
me the fuck out.
Yeah,
I know it
I don't
smells
like
bad,
it.
but it's like I can
Dude.
live with it.
Like shitty, like
What I don't like about it is that it's
gross.
it has such like staying power. It's so fucking like pungent.
so
Like sometimes we have that shit like I'll have some and it's in the fridge and then fucking everything else in the fridge, like even the water kind of tastes like durian.
That's disgusting.
Yeah,
I would
it's fucking
not
gross.
allow that. I would not accept. This is not acceptable, dude. I
gotta
swear
make
to God,
compromises.
when I was oh my God, because I grew up here, I was here a lot as a young boy, and I remember just foul, like near my like my mom's house, right? Like just people selling just fish and fruit, and they had like bare feet, and it was just so much. It just fucking stank, dude. I'm like, dude, I can't fuck with any of this, dude. I can't eat fruit, and I feel like I do. I swear to God, to this day, I can't. I haven't had a fruit since fucking 2009.
Can you have juice?
Like this,
If it's in juice form, can you have it? Like if I brought you a fresh
sure.
juice,
Yeah, like
in
I
a
would
cup-
dr-
like
like
a
a-
bottle of
like a
juice.
mango-
I
smoothie.
could stomach it, but I really like. Dude, I grew up I couldn't even take it down.
That's so weird. Because
Like,
to me, like fruit
I
is
couldn't.
the most delicious, like a strawberry.
Dude, and I can't. It's just too sweet. Like the smell and everything, just kind of like totally. And I think it's because I just I smelled a lot of gross shit growing up, walking around. And, like they ruined fruit for me as a kid. I think, and like I check it out. I was in boot camp. We have to eat 2 apples every meal. That's like one of the rules. You have to pick 2 apples.
Why do you have to
You
eat?
get an entree. You get a piece of white bread. Go sit down and eat, and don't talk, and just look at your plate and just eat.
Why do you need to eat 2 apples? That's kind of weird.
Yeah, I don't know.
'Cause
You have
it's
to 2
that's the
fruit.
diet.
It's like 2. They give you 2 servings of fruit,
Uh,
right? And so for like 6 or 7 weeks, dude, right? Like I just pretended to eat part. Like I would take a bite of an apple, dude, and then I would face it. I would like turn it so it and then cover the rest of it with a napkin. It was like my big dude. It was like the only thing I had.
just eat the apple.
Dude,
you
I
fucking-
can't, dude. I can't.
No, it's funny because like you react
I
to
couldn't.
fruits the way I know it's ironic because of how skinny I am, but how I react to fat on meat.
Oh, you get grossed out
Oh,
by
I
it.
know I get what you call it. I regurgitate. Like I immediately have a
You, like,
physical-
gag? Yeah.
I gag
Wow.
immediately.
Yeah.
There's like something chewy in my mouth, like something like plasticky, like rubbery, like that fat, and when I
Yeah.
feel that, I just
Yeah, I don't like that shit
I
either.
can't deal with it.
That's crazy.
And then I
live
go
for
to China
that
and everybody's
shit.
like, "Oh, look at this crispy fat pork," and I'm like, "Oh, dude, looks amazing, smells amazing." I put it in my mouth and I wanted to gag immediately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If it
like-
doesn't melt, if it's not melty, I can't.
If
eat
you
it.
get like a slow cooked brisket, the fat on that it just melts. So it's like
Awesome.
amazing.
Yeah, but not. But
But if
some
it's
parts.
chewy,
Yeah.
like
Sure.
Yeah, I don't like that shit.
I can't deal with it.
Yeah.
But you're Asian, so you can.
Well, I'm just a carnivore. I'm just a
Yeah, but
gross.
but you can go through that fat, but you can't eat an
You
apple.
can't eat a goddamn apple.
Dude, I swear to God. And dude, here's what happened. I had the bite mark. I would bite both apples and face them so it looked like, I had taken like.
Nobody ever called you out on
And
this?
then, dude, here's the thing. It was like 6 weeks in, and like I'd already gotten a ton of trouble for other shit, and I was already I was already like way on the. I was already at the very top of the shit list for like my platoon, right? And I was already getting fucked with like every day relentlessly, and but I still could not eat. I'm like, dude, I'm not fucking eating the apple. Like that's one thing. So like eventually, the eyes were on me, and I did that, right? And I went to go throw away my shit, dude, and they stopped me. They stopped me, dude, right? And they pulled out the napkins and be like, aha! Like you have like two bite marks.
We've been investigating this.
Right,
what
like
do you
they
mean?
they had like the app, like I took one bite out of each apple, and I've been like, you've been doing this fucking forever, haven't you, you piece of shit.
So they're looking at the food.
So you know what they did? Them like I had to be like, this recruit doesn't like fruit, like whatever. This recruit does not like fruit.
Wait, you have to refer to yourself like that?
Yeah, this recruit. You have to say this
man.
recruit.
This
This recruit requests permission to go to the head, sir.
You're like,
This recruit-
You're like looking down. You're like, this recruit doesn't like fruit.
And they yelled, dude, they screamed at me forever. And then they made me eat fruit. And then they would watch me eat fruit every day, dude. It was the worst.
And you're like
dude,
crying.
I was like, that was for me fucking torture, dude. Like, you had no idea what it was like for me to just I was forced to eat fruit, like, for like a month straight,
You
dude.
need to write a bit about this.
Dude,
It's
it was
amazing.
fucking tortured, man. And like, all the other shit, like, dude, I got...
What is it like? So you you feel sick when you're eating an apple?
No, I just hate the way it's in my mouth. I just don't like the way it tastes. I just don't like the way it feels in my mouth. That's the only reason, dude. I just don't.
Don't you?
And it smells gross.
That's
it
so
smells
weird.
gross.
Apples don't really smell like anything.
But dude, even like a little tiny apple smell, like dude, like if someone's chopping apples in the room, I'm like, ugh.
But I'll say this: I
might have to leave. I might have to walk out.
I
Can
don't.
you eat like a piece of watermelon?
Like watermelon's easy because it's not fruit.
It's mostly just water.
Watermelon's mostly water. I've had watermelon. I'm not gonna order watermelon ever, or like buy it,
watermelon.
or like if someone offers it to me, I'll say no. But if someone put a gun in my head, I could like, all right, fine, I'll eat
But
watermelon.
like to me,
all right.
summer and watermelon in particular is to me. Sorry, fruit. Like fruit's fine, but like watermelon is like every summer of my life. Like it just brings good memories.
Yeah,
to me.
watermelon's the shit.
But I
Yo,
hate
fruit. All fruit, pretty
No.
much. Not all fruit, because there's weird, like we were talking.
I
berry and
hate
shit.
apple juice.
Yeah,
I can't drink apple
Yeah, well,
juice.
just apple
It's
juice
disgusting.
because it gets. I mean, I like it, but it gets pretty dank.
But it's just the smell of it, the taste of it, like
Yeah.
all of it. So
And
I
it
don't-
just looks like strong piss.
Yeah, exactly. Because like, why of all the fruits that I could be drinking juice of right now, why should I drink apple juice?
Yeah.
So what other shit did
You know
get,
these-
got
you know-
in
you know
trouble
my-
in boot camp?
Dude, I'll tell you this. Yo, is this gay? Did we talk like this for the rest of the
A little
life?
bit, yeah.
My dad used to pour a shot glass with orange juice and be like, I have to take a shot of orange juice every morning, basically, because I wouldn't drink. I'm like, I wouldn't fuck with fruits at all growing
But
up.
you must have a vitamin deficiency.
Yeah, I took vitamins and shit.
But you can
Do you
get.
still do it?
You can get.
Nah, I just fucking
Because he eats vegetables and
Yeah,
shit.
I do.
And you
I
can
love
get
vegetables.
most of like vitamin C and shit. You can get that from
I
vegetables.
like all vegetables. I don't like any fruit.
That's weird. That's the opposite.
I
of
hate
like what a
bananas,
normal
bro.
kid
If
is
you bring
like.
a banana around me, I swear to God, I'll never. If you eat a banana near me, I'll never like.
I'll never suck your dick again.
I'll never kiss you. I'll never make out with you ever.
So would you rather suck a dick or eat a banana?
Like if a chick, put it this way, if a chick just ate an apple, like I would wait like 20 minutes before I did anything.
Really?
Yeah, dude. Or like any type of fruit.
You like you
If
gotta.
there's some fruits, like if it was like some crazy weird Thai fruit, I wouldn't even like for the rest of the night. I'm not gonna even.
would you let her suck
I'll
your
just jerk
vagina?
off, dude. I'll just jerk off. Like fuck out of here. I want to smell that shit. Let her jerk me off, I guess. I don't know, but I don't know. Fruits are just like to me, like okay. So fruits are natural little things, and when it smells bad, that's its way of saying don't fuck with me.
Yeah.
Right?
True, but
it stinks.
But
But
before that, before
very
it
edible.
rots, it's very edible and delicious and good for you.
I don't know.
I don't know.
The
scientific community kind of agrees on this.
This recruit requests permission to not eat fruit, sir. We had to call everyone sir, no matter what their rank was. We called them sir, and then after boot camp we called them the rank. But it would be this. You refer to yourself as this recruit, and you're 43. That's like my number was 43.
It's like to erase your individualism and your humanity.
Yeah,
and
but
shit.
they would still call my last name and like they would still use your last name.
It's
and shit.
exactly like prison.
Yeah, it is prison. It's totally prison. But you get out and they make a celebration. They celebrate
And you
graduating prison basically.
2 apples. I'm sure most of the dudes are like, "Fuck yeah, an apple."
I was like, dude. I remember one time.
Would nobody eat
dude,
your
this-
apples for you?
Oh,
Yeah, why don't you? Because like,
I remember one time because then we get in trouble. Like, dude, it was prison. If we fucking talked to other people, like they would punish us. They would make us do shit if we fucked up. And you know what they used to do? They used to say, I would wait outside the line for the chow hall, and they would fuck with me so hard. These assholes would make me. I looked like a guy they knew named Scholes. All right, they kept saying my name was Scholes, and like he looks like fucking Scholes. Holy shit! And he's like, get him out here, make him do the helicopter. And then I'm like, what the fuck? And when they would come out, I would come out, and then they would say, do the helicopter. And I'm like, all right, sir. And then I had to spin I had to spin like this, like in a circle, like a helicopter. And yeah, they would just fuck
so
with
it's
me
like
like that.
trying to join a
But
frat.
that's like hazing, yeah.
Yeah, totally. They would do that before I got, and then they would make me do push-ups. And they were like cool. They were like dudes from other platoons. Those were other sergeants, right? But my sergeants straight up abused me. They just hated me, dude.
That sounds
And
exactly.
dude, I remember one time this kid got caught with peanut butter. That's a big deal. They have little packets of peanut butter. And back then, here's the crazy thing. I didn't like peanut butter back then, and I wouldn't even fuck with peanut butter. Actually, I ate just white bread every day. Just like a slice of white bread and whatever the thing was, and I would hide my fruit with napkins. Mr. Coon is done eating, sir! And then get up and fucking whatever.
Like you're surprisingly like big for somebody who refuses to eat nutrients.
Yeah, because I'm like one of those big burly Mongolian dudes. Like all we eat is like
you just eat
like
horse meat,
like horse meat and like milk broth and shit or whatever.
like sour
And I
milk,
can get
alcohol,
by.
and horse meat.
Right. This kid, he got caught with a peanut. They empty. So when they punish you, I don't want to talk about the Marines actually. It's fucking. We have funnier things to talk about. But when
This is very funny to me.
when they punish you, they empty your pockets, right?
Okay.
And if you got anything in your pockets that you're not supposed to have, they fuck with you. You're fucked. You're just fucked. All right. And this kid, his name was I'm not gonna say his name, but he got caught with peanut butter. And he's like from my part of the country, right? So like he was like associated with me kind of, but probably he's from my area kind of. And he got caught with peanut butter in his pocket, and they took him alone to the fucking drill deck, dude. We're outside on the street, and we could and there's just windows, and they're all open, and we just hear him screaming like woo, like just like a cartoon screaming, and he's just getting he's getting fucking raped in there, dude. It sounded terrible. Like they flogged the fuck out of him, basically.
What were they actually doing?
They were ITing him, which is like they make you do push-ups and sit-ups, and no sit-ups. They make you do push-ups and like mountain climbers and jumping jacks and fucking like they make you do a bunch of physical exercises, and then they scream at your face, and you're not allowed to stop until they. I don't know. I was too scared to stop. No one ever is to stop working out. Everyone just continues until they die. And if you die out, then they keep screaming at you more, and then you'll get more punished for not being able to complete it. It's crazy.
It sounds awful.
Yeah, it's pretty terrible.
Yeah.
No, it's awful.
And then the reward at the end is they give you a gun and send you to die.
We're gonna treat you like shit until you die. But if you survive, then you'll get the respect of your peers.
You're gonna go to fucking shithole Afghanistan and get your legs blown off.
Exactly.
No, you can get PTSD, and then
Yeah,
people
you
will
know.
say thank you for your service.
Right.
Yeah, so it's amazing.
But it's the cult. It's a cult thing.
It reminds me like when I went to
It's
uni.
such a good hustle.
Dude, it's so up. But here's the thing:
Sorry,
it just takes advantage of like to me. I don't know. I was like, I like the idea of it, and I'd like, oh, it'd be cool to see things, and maybe I'll shoot a rocket launcher at a dude or some shit like
Maybe
that.
I'll blow up some Afghans.
You don't blow up a fucking mosque or some shit like that. That's pretty dope. Or some shit. No,
I don't know.
I was kidding.
That was a little far.
Yes,
Good thing
I,
they didn't
I might
send
not
you.
agree with that point.
I was joking, dude.
Yo, cool. Maybe I'll get to snipe some Iraqi civilians, bro. That'd be sick.
I was joking. That's terrible. But
Maybe I'll get to do some
but
to
it-
engage in some friendly fire.
But it takes a lot. It takes advantage of like, oh, you're American. Oh, dude, how about you want to be like the ultimate American dude? Like,
Yeah.
come fuck with us then.
You want to be more American than American?
Like, you want to be the dude? Like, I was. I put this on. I saw a chant. All right, it was a football game, and there was 10,000 Americans. It was 20,000 Americans. Have I talked to you about this, or you heard me talk about this?
Maybe, but keep going.
I haven't.
All right, so
Where were you? Where were
like
you?
fucking 5 or 6 times a week. All right, there is an event in America, like a big sports event, and then like 20,000, 30,000, 100,000 people gather up. They're all Americans, and then they unroll a flag of America, and then everyone starts chanting USA at the flag, right? And it's like, dude, like it's not like Germany versus France in the World Cup, and this side's got to be louder.
It's like
than this
fucking
side.
Westlake High School.
Yeah.
Dude, right? But they're all like, but everyone's chanting America at like everyone. We know we're American. Why are we chanting? Why are we?
Yeah, why are we
indoctrinated?
Why? This is a literal echo chamber in this stadium.
Yeah.
It's literally a cult in here.
Right.
And that's the thing. It's like, you want to be that? You want to be fucking American? You want chills down your spine?
Do you play the Canadian anthem before any sporting event?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a popular one.
In school too?
No.
Like for a high school game?
For like
my
a high school
was-
hockey game, no.
Yeah.
Really?
No.
What about?
You
What
don't play
about?
the national anthem before like, high school?
No.
What about
Do you stand for the pledge of
But
Canada?
What about like a basketball game or
Well,
a,
any pro
game.
any pro game, yeah, they'll play. So if it's like in the NHL, or if like in the NBA, if they're playing the Raptors, they'll play. So if it's like two Canadian teams playing each other, they'll just play the Canadian anthem.
Okay.
If it's a Canadian team playing an American team, they'll play both, and that's the same across all of the major sports.
Do they
Because
make
in Spain we play the anthem of the club, so every club has their own anthem, and
Yeah.
they play that anthem.
But what kind of song
But
is the anthem?
Yeah.
it sounds like a national hymn, but it's just for the club.
It kind of makes no sense. Like at the Olympics, I get it. Whoever wins gold, play their anthem, sure. But like when it's fucking whatever, the Chicago Blackhawks playing the Toronto Maple Leafs.
It's to remind everybody that
What does it matter?
Yes,
half
exactly.
the dudes on the team. Like this is what was retarded during the playoffs. The Tampa Bay fans were booing the Canadian anthem, and it's like, dude, like fucking your captain is Canadian. What are you guys doing?
Dude,
Idiots.
America though. He's American now.
Well, no, and half the team is Russians and shit.
America.
So
dude.
it's
nonsense.
Yeah, but America. Yeah, but America.
Yeah.
Dude, and that's what it is.
Sorry, I wanted to go back to the hazing stuff, like because in university in Belgium there used to be
you had some hazing stories.
no way no because the thing was like they had these like the equivalent of a fraternity. I don't know if I talked about this here, but they were like anybody could join, and then you get hazed like for months, like publicly, like it's just like total humiliation, and it's very gross and disgusting. But it's voluntary, so you don't have to do it. So. Like there's like a bunch of like me and my friends were like we're not doing any of this because we already have friends. But for a lot of people that came from out of town, for example, it was a way of socializing and meeting people, or also like to enter into some. But they did a lot of weird shit. But the funniest thing I saw was all the people that did the hazing were called bleu, which means blue, because at the end of the process they get bathed in a chemical liquid and their hair goes blue. So but. They get all funny haircuts, and one of them was called the Bleu Walkman, and they just like shaved his whole head except for like a band of hair. That was fucking funny. There was something like but that was the funniest guy, the Blue Walkman. I was just like the best guy ever.
That's pretty funny.
That's funny hazing.
Dude, frats to me are so fucking stupid. I guess it's because it's like you want to have people that are forced to be your friend or something like that.
Yeah,
but like if you were like a cool guy trying to get into a frat, and then there's a guy who's like already a guy, and then he's like bullying you and shit, but he's like less cool than you.
Right, exactly.
This is fucking bullshit.
That's a common dynamic for sure.
And like, it's so weird how they make them do like gross, not even borderline fully gay shit.
Oh yeah.
It's like, why don't you just? I mean, I'll go to your party, but I'm not doing any of this bullshit.
Yeah, I don't know. To me, I was like,
yeah, that was the other thing. At least for us, like all the parties were open to everyone, and then you didn't have to do any of that. So like, okay,
like the frats had sick parties, and it was like free for them, but you pay like fucking $10 or whatever, and then you get in on the keg.
Yeah, but that's stupid, dude. You pay so much to be in a frat, and it's so gay.
Yeah.
Like you pay money, you're in this we're in this club now with a bunch of dudes that like have problems making friends. Like I never joined a frat because I'm like, dude, I rushed a frat and got in, and I left like after like a day. I was literally in I was in a frat called Delta Chi for like a week.
Cobra Kai.
Delta Chi. It was the first chapter on our campus, and they were like, you want to be in a new frat? You want to be in a new frat? So I showed up at this meeting, and then like we had like one outing, and me and my friend Jordan went there, and We all went there actually. Me and a couple of my friends went there.
Fucking
And it was so.
Rick's legs are so goddamn
Fried
long,
shit.
by the way. His toe always ends up touching me. I'm like, how are you even that
Like the
long?
tree from Lord of the Rings.
Seriously,
like
it's
an
fucking ant.
Dude, fuck it. But yeah, I don't know. It's just I never felt like I could be socially successful without a frat. And why the fuck do I need to?
Yeah, like if you're
Like-
on a sports team, you already have buddies and shit. Like, what
Right.
the fuck do you need
It
a
was
frat
just
for?
like-
What's
And
funny
I
is the
didn't-
opposite for me. Like I thought, if I join a frat, I'm still not gonna be socially successful, and I'm gonna be humiliated.
Yeah, so it's like this is just a lose.
lose. I just rather just lose, not lose.
Right,
lose.
right. We're gonna keep single loss.
I don't know. It was to me. It was just like, dude, this is just, and it was gay because like all the chicks would just, dude, frats would just hang out. Like and then now you're forced, and like there were so many like dumb horn dog dudes. They were just like they watched like American Pie like 1,000 times, and now they're like ready to just blow a load at like a frat party and shit. Like this is so like it's so cheesy, dude. And like they have frats and they have sororities, and then they mingle and they have mixers and they fucking party exclusively together. You know, it's like, and they have parties that are closed and it's just them.
Yeah.
And it's just like, man, that's so gay. Like, it's such like mommy and daddy like organize this so you guys could get ladies.
Yeah, it's like it's like
man,
you're an adult
guys.
now. You're at university. What are you doing with this fucking like? You're living in a house with like 20 other people. It's weird.
Yeah, it's like Animal House shit though. But that's like, but here's the thing: like living in a house with 20 people is probably
pretty lit sometimes.
Probably fucking hilarious, dude.
Dude.
But like none, like the dudes I moved to, dude, and we almost moved into a frat house. Like I remember looking at a frat house and looking at a room and being like, this is gonna be my room in the frat house. And then I didn't join. I'm like, this is actually, I don't want to do this. This is pretty gay. Because I thought about it like realistically. But and we're like, yo, I don't want to fucking hang out with a bunch of 20 dudes I kind of know, and like, what if they're not funny? And
Yeah.
like.
But then you ended up hanging out with 20 dudes anyway.
Yeah, but I would have
on his own
but I would
terms.
have a party at my house, and then like 50 dudes would show up. So I'm like, this is my.
But you
this is
went,
my frat.
you went
This
to
is my
university in the same city that you were living in.
No, like 2 hours away, or no, 40 minutes away.
So you
No.
knew people there? You met people? That's
It was a different. I went to school in the countryside, and a lot of people were from the suburbs, but there was not a ton of people I knew before college in that school. There was like maybe like 12 to 15 people I knew.
I remember
Which is a lot, actually. I could call on people that I knew to get new circles. And shit like that.
One friend I have from university, we met him in Brussels. There's a system of tramways. It's a tram. But anyway, it's like buses or whatever. So I was with a Spanish friend of mine from school, and we were in this thing, just in public transport going to class. And there's this one guy turns around and says, "Are you guys Spanish?" Because he was kind of Spanish. He was also like born in Spain, but grew up in Belgium. And then that's it. That's how you become friends when you're that age. We're still friends.
Are you guys Spanish? Yep. You guys want to be friends?
Basically, yeah. Like he was just nice, and then we just started hanging out, and then that's
What
it.
city was this in?
In Brussels, yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
I went to university in Ottawa, so I just lived at home.
Yeah.
I didn't really have like a whole fucking going to college.
Wait,
experience.
describe
I
your
said
describe the
home
city.
too.
Were you like in a house?
Yeah, I'm in my dad's house.
Is it? And there's like a downtown Ottawa. Is it like how?
Yeah,
is
so
the city
like
laid out?
the university's like not even downtown. It's like still kind of in the south part of the city.
Okay.
It's like southeast-ish.
How long did it take you to get
And
to?
so I would take the bus and then take a train, and it would take me like half an hour to get there.
Wow.
45 minutes maybe.
Interesting.
So
How far
like-
away did you live from like did you grow up in a really busy part of town?
No, I grew up in the south end, like suburbs.
Okay.
But like Ottawa's small, so get on a bus and in 30 minutes you're downtown.
Wow. Interesting.
So at university, like I knew people in my classes and shit, but I didn't really. And I would just like hang out with my friends from high school.
Was that
on
an
the weekends.
it felt like an extension of high school, kind of?
Well, it was just like I'm going to a different school now, but I still hang out with mostly the same people and shit. Like I didn't bother really like making friends in my
It's
classes
pretty
because I
similar
already.
to me.
Wow.
Because I also stayed at home. I lived 15 minutes by car from the campus. To took me 20 minutes to get there. And then, but what happened to me was that I kept some friends from high school, but then we also kind of mixed with a few new friends from university. So like the group expanded a bit, and some people from high school left.
That's crazy.
So then, so you meet new people. But overall, it was just an extension of high school.
Yeah,
kinda.
same. Which is kind of like it would be a cool experience to move to a different city or
Yeah.
town or whatever, and then like
I wish I had done
all of that. Yeah, I wish I had done it too, but I've saved mad money.
Yeah, it's weird. It was like I had that fucking coming of age fucking Q alternative rock music fucking intro,
You've come
and
of
then
age.
like spiky like fucking
Like
what's
American
up?
Pie.
Let's get laid tonight, yeah. Dude, it was like
So it's like a rite of passage.
Dude, it was
for
such
an
a rite of
American.
passage for an American to just go to college and be a total fucking doofus for like 4 years.
Did you get in a car and your parents
and
were
just be
singing
like a
that?
jerk off hot dog dude? That's just like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? It is a rite of passage. That's
Yeah.
exactly the way to put it. Like everyone is Stifler. Everyone is like Jason Biggs and like the nerdy, sensitive dude, or Finch, like the eccentric, poetic dude, right? It's
Shit
like,
break.
dude, every fucking person, and then like like every dude from Animal House, every dude from fucking Van Wilder. It's like that's a rite of passage for every American.
And you guys, you go there
And it's such a jerk off.
and
like,
don't really learn much. And,
don't do shit.
and
dude.
it costs you like $100,000.
Right.
So
It's kind of funny because when I saw American Pie, I thought I'm Finch, and then my friends didn't think I was Finch at all.
you're definitely not Stifler.
I was the Asian.
I was the guy that says, "Oh, you're
Milf.
I am a robot. I am a
No,
robot
you're-
sent from a
Yeah, you're Shermanator.
Yeah,
Actually.
Terminator." so that was
Terminator.
unfortunately.
So how much was like 1 year of college? Just tuition.
So here's the crazy thing: when you go to college in America, the first 2 years you have to live in the dorm, or at least the first year, I think, maybe, and then you can live on, at least my school. So then you can move if you're a freshman, and then you can be a sophomore and then go off campus,
Sure.
right? Which means you can go to like
know what that means.
renting a shitty.
But how much is
apartment.
tuition for a year?
Tuition was $5,000 for a semester, and then $5,000 for rent at the dorms.
That's
per year.
not as crazy as I thought it was.
Yeah, but then you multiply that by 2, and that's 1 year, and then you need 5 or 6 years nowadays to
So it's
finish
like
college.
so it's $20,000 a year.
Something like that,
Yeah,
Fuck. In Canada, it's like $5,000 a year for
dude.
tuition.
Right? It's insane.
And the education is just as good, probably better.
I paid like less than $1,000 per year.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
crazy. So even Canada is ridiculously expensive.
But dude, you never did the you never like
Yeah,
you never.
I didn't rush for a frat.
And my
I
university.
didn't go to fucking.
Dude, it's so
I didn't go to Jessica Canstrup's kegger.
right, exactly.
And even the books were cheap because like some of the books were like a bit expensive, but most of the books were just printouts. Like from like the university had its own publishing house, and it would just print cheap editions, like super affordable things. And then we would still make photocopies of that. So
You know what's crazy? They would make us rent books, and it cost us like $80 to rent
everything's
one
a
book.
rip-off.
And it's like I'm paying $80 to take a book and then give it back to you,
That's bullshit.
and I don't get that money back.
And I don't even get the book.
Yeah,
Yeah,
dude,
that's-
college was
that's-
such a
that's
jerk off.
ridiculous.
But it was such like a. Whoa! It was such like a. What's the word? Just like a fucking like a jerk off.
Yeah, but
Like-
like 99% of the times that I've ever
It's so funny.
heard
It's so
you say
ridiculous.
anything vaguely educated was something you learned in university.
Possibly, but I also went to university in Thailand too, and I had like the same like whoa, but it was like a Thai version, like it was
like, whoa,
it was like a Thai fraternity and shit. So, that's racist.
It's okay, you're allowed.
Yeah, I went to school, dude. No, I was not, dude. And I went to school in Thailand, and it was like it was totally different when I went. It was like a job. It was like business. It was
I feel like
work.
Thai university is kind of a joke, like, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean,
Don't,
for me,
don't
it was
they have like
work.
they do little projects where they have to do like surveys of people, and then that counts as like their thesis, and then they get a master's degree in business because they interviewed like 5 foreigners, and then they compiled.
For me, it was different. I went to. I mean, maybe it's like that for some actually, but I had to just do archaeology shit, and I was like, it was pretty. It was intense because my professors were like real big dick archaeologists, and they were like very tenured, and like they was like they want to be taken seriously kind of shit, and there was not a lot of room for fucking around, and I just attacked it like an adult.
Right.
You know? And it was totally the opposite of college. I'm like, hey, I was fucking hungover last night. Like,
Oh, I see what you're
what's
saying.
the fucking,
You-
like,
you just- you-
I
you were mature
I was
about
a
it.
completely different person
You were there
in grad
to learn.
school.
But didn't you drop out?
I did drop out because I was also poor as fuck. I was also incredibly broke.
So you went, fuck this, I'm just going to be a comedian.
Yeah.
That'll
Then
fix
around the same time, I kind of found comedy, and then I said, you know what, I'm gonna decide to do comedy. and do this forever, basically. After I got that first laugh on stage, felt
By the way,
good about myself.
I wanted to ask you. I was thinking about this the other day because I've never heard the story, like the detailed story. I'm sure Justin has, but like the day, like when you went, how did it come up that you ended up opening for Doug Stanhope? What did you get? Did you get to meet the guy at all? Like, how was the whole thing? Like, how was the whole story of that?
Okay, we get started I was at my mom's house.
Well, this is here in Bangkok.
I'll make this quick too, so Justin doesn't have to fucking suffer. Because Justin's heard this a million times probably. I was at my mom's house. Remember being at my mom's house in my underwear, listening to Doug Stanhope while I was in grad school, and I'm like, damn, this guy's. And like, I never knew Doug Stanhope, but I'm just like laughing my ass off. Like, I'm enjoying this guy so much. I love Doug Stanhope, and like, and then I found comedy, and then I found Justin a week after I tried comedy for the first time. And he was at Live Lounge, and he thought I was a Native American.
Are you an Inuit?
I thought he was native.
Thought I was a fucking Eskimo or some shit. And he's like, "Hey there, Chief. How you doing there, bud?" And at the time, there was I'm sorry, go ahead.
He asked you, how did you find out that you were opening?
Yeah, I'm getting there. At the same time, I'm painting a picture here.
Yeah,
all right. At the same time, the scene's growing. There's like all these, there's Comedy Club Bangkok. There's Leo, which is this dude.
You were like 2 years in, right? Or like
it was like a year and a half in. Anyways, and then there was Aiden, right? And Aiden was like a showrunner. I don't know who did he work with? I don't know.
He was with that thing there, fucking
Magners.
Yeah, Magners.
That's what it was.
But it's also
right,
but it's like something Asia comedy.
Sure. Right. So I remember one time I was hanging out with Aiden, or I was talking to him, and he told me something like, "Yo, Doug Stanhope's gonna come here in March," and this was like in November. It was like in October, and I was like a year, not a year and a half in. I was like a year in. All right, and then I'm like, "Hey man, if there's any way I could open, like I would fucking die to open. I would fucking do anything." And he's like, "Yeah, in your fucking dreams, dude. That'll never fucking happen." And then what happened was I just kept writing jokes for 6 months, dude. And how I think it happened was there was someone else originally, and then he dropped out. And then at the last second, Aiden called me. He's like, "Hey, you still?" Because I said that one thing. Maybe that's what happened. So he called about, and he also knew that I wrote good jokes, and he fucking liked me. I think.
I thought Matt Worf had a part to play in this whole thing. I thought.
Yeah, and I think Matt probably went to bat for me.
Yeah.
Really fucking hard versus Aiden. So, but
they were organizing it kind of together.
And Matt's a great guy. And Matt's actually never like said that. Matt's never been a dude to hold that over my head or anything. He's always like, "You fucking earned it." And at the time, I feel like I did.
I honestly thought you were the logical dude to open for him because you're Thai, and you're like really dark and dirty and shit the way Stanhope is. So I was like,
it was a weird.
When you told me you were fucking stoked, you were like, "Dude, I gotta tell you something."
Yeah, I found
I'm opening for Stanhope, and I was like really happy for him, but also like, motherfucker,
dude. And I found out it was like 4 days before. It was like a week before, maybe.
How big was the crowd?
700.
Jesus.
Maybe a little bit less.
How did you feel like before going on stage?
I just thought. So here's what was cool, man.
Chris,
I remember I showed up I remember I woke up that day and I had prepared my set and I had gone through it a bunch of times and I was confident with every part of my set except for one part about the ATM. I had a joke about ATM which I thought was the weakest part of my set, but I'm like, fuck it, that's what I'll go with. So I'm sticking to it, I'm committing it. The hardest thing was just finding a set list to commit to, and I'm literally a year and a half in.
How long did they tell you to do?
10 minutes. I did 10 minutes, dude. And I was like a year and a half in front of 700 people probably, right?
Nice.
So what I did, I woke up that day, and then I went to the park. I didn't never go to the park. I fucking stay home and jack off. And I went to the park, and then I just walked around the lake, and I just fucking recited my shit, and sat down, looked at the sky, and I'm like, all right, dude, like, don't be. I was trying the whole time. I was just trying to not get out of my head and go crazy, right? Because it's like,
it's the right thing
I don't want to think about fucking it up. Right, because I was so new, and I'm like, if you fuck this up, because in my head I'm like, dude, if you fuck this up, you are such a fuck up, like you are the biggest, like, you're gonna have to move, like, if you fuck this up, dude, there's so much pressure on you, you are never gonna be taken seriously as a comedian.
It was great that you did well, but it would have been kind of hilarious if you just fucking bombed so hard.
Yeah, it was, but I'm like, just get to the point where like, dude, this is what you fucking do, and then remember who your role models are, and if they can do it, you can do it, right? And I went to this place like at 4. I went to the hotel at 4, right? And I was there so early, and I remember right before the show started, I was in the green room, right? And I was just chilling there alone, and Doug Stanhope walks in. I'm like, holy shit, it's Doug Stanhope. I'm like, hey, dude, what's up? I'm Chris. I'm like, I'm waiting for you. So nice to meet you. And then he asked, we had a cigarette outside on the balcony, and then he said something. He was talking. It was chill, man. It wasn't like, I was like, hey, he's a cool guy, right? I'm like, holy shit, this is fucking Doug Stanhope, dude. And he was like, hey, man, fucking, like, don't be nervous if they fucking attack. Remember, you're with me, right? You're with me right now. So like, if they fuck with you, they're fucking with me, and I'm gonna fucking get them back. Don't trip. Like, just.
That's dope.
Yeah, he's like, I got your back.
Great.
He's like, I got your back. Don't be afraid. Whatever the fuck happens, I'm like, all right, dude. Like, let's get it done. And it was so cool because his manager was there. And then they said all this shit about how, like, everywhere he goes, he picks, like, one guy that he thinks is good to go open for him and shit like that. And, like, I know that he didn't.
He didn't handpick.
I know that he didn't pick me,
Yeah.
handpick me, but it was such a nice little add-on, like, because he publicly declared as well. Oh, okay.
Oh, he said that on
His manager
on stage.
did.
Oh, okay.
His manager announced that.
Yeah.
I remember that. His manager announced that in the microphone. And then, dude, I walked on stage, and it was like, you know, they were ready, and I was ready. And I just a cool thing, I spent like 10 minutes on the stage before the show, like in an empty room. And I just like looked around, and I just got comfortable on the stage. And like, you know, just so there was no surprises really, technically. I wanted to know my battlefield. And as soon as I went up there, and I just said some shit, and then a bunch of people laughed, and it was like a big giant wave of like a rolling wave of laughter that hit me.
Right.
And then as soon as I got that confirmation, like right off the bat, it was just like, dude, the air, like, because the air was so still. When I walked up there, it was so still, right? And it's crazy because you see all these people, and like,
so much tension.
and there's so much tension, and people like moving. And I'm like, hey, what's up? I'm Chris. It was just like little chuckles. And then I told a joke, and I got a laugh, and it hit me like so fucking hard. And I'm like, yes, dude. Then I got that laugh, and I didn't even fucking. You know, I was not afraid. I didn't give a fuck.
You know what he did? You know what he did like 7 times. I actually wasn't there. I had a hockey game, so I showed up late, like right around where Chris finished. Yeah. But I actually remembered wrong and thought that I was there. But anyway, I wasn't. I wasn't. I showed up.
You've seen
like,
the clip a million times.
Yeah, because I saw the clip.
Yeah.
But so when he did on stage like 7 times, he was just like he would do his joke. They laugh like he fucking killed. Like it was a really good set.
Yeah, year and
and they're laughing, and he goes, "Wow, this is amazing."
Yeah.
And then he would do another joke, and then he would do the same thing. He's like, "Oh my god, this is so cool."
Yeah, I was so in the moment, dude. I was so like, dude, this is fucking amazing. It was, man. It was so cool. And you know how I think about that night? Like, I'm like, dude, I should have went after I got off stage. After the show, I should have got off stage. I should have went straight upstairs to the roof of the hotel and just fucking killed myself. I would have died a fucking legend in this city. I would have died a goddamn hero.
Yeah, but come on, we had to...
I need 10 minutes to be killed himself. The guy's a fucking beast.
No, but you had to bomb at Raw Comedy the next week in front of 7 people.
Right, and then like within... Dude, that was crazy because I got so much love. But of course, like within 2 weeks, I'm back to, bombing at Raw, yeah. And like stage time. And like, oh fuck, like dude,
this is
back to
reality.
Back to reality, dude.
Yeah.
Right.
And even that's crazy how that's such a drop from like 600 to doing shows for like 20 people or whatever.
Yeah.
I would kill to do a show in front of like 10 people.
Dude, it was like, and here's the really, I'm really proud of myself because I remember saying and like dude, you're never gonna. I remember like before the show, I was on that stage and that little time I had. I was like, you're never gonna see this many people in the audience again for like 10 years, dude. They're like, this could be the last time you see some shit for like 10 years. Like you might not hit it forever. You might never hit it, right? But this could be like it's like that last game of football when you're a senior.
Yeah, just enjoy
and you're not a kicker
and
you have an actual responsibility and shit. Like you care. It was
No, but I think it's
so cool.
The cool takeaway from me, like listening to a story for the first time, is you stepped up to the plate. Like you actually did prepare yourself.
You
like,
took it really
seriously.
seriously. Yeah.
And that's something you can kind of like. I have that in me.
I love how
you know,
we're
like
saying
when it's that time, I have
Right.
it in me to
right.
do that.
I love how we're saying he took it seriously, and then he went up there and did his rape whistle.
Right.
Yeah, but he rehearsed. He
Yeah, but I'm just saying that's what I love
Sure.
about comedy. Is it's like we get very serious
yeah,
and
but a rape whistle-
philosophical about our dumbass dick jokes. Like,
Dude, I can tell you. You know what's funny? I remember after I got off stage. So then I announced him on stage, and you know he took the microphone from me, and then he's like, Doug's like, give him a hand. Doug, you know Doug, right? Yeah. He's like, give Chris a hand. Blah, blah, blah. I was like, yeah, that's fucking great. And then he did a callback to like 2 of my jokes, and then he actually,
So he listened to your set.
Oh,
that's,
man. Yeah, it was
it's
so
so
cool.
cool. It's so cool how he gave you that little pep talk, saying like,
So
yeah,
dope,
you're on
dude.
my team, so
So
if they
nice,
fuck with you, I
dude.
got you. That's so cool.
So
And the fact that he like referenced your jokes, because I'm
Yeah.
sure so many like
Every-
headliner types aren't like that at all.
Oh man, he was a comic.
And they're probably, if anything, they don't want the opener to do that well because they don't want to get buried or
or
whatever.
they just don't care. They don't care as much.
Or they
so
just
they're
don't
not
give. They're
different.
just like, who's this guy? Whatever.
Yeah.
But Stanhope actually realized that you're like that you look up to him. That this is a big moment for you.
Yeah.
Like it's just one of 1,000 for
Right, just
him, right?
doing it-
But
yeah,
but
right.
but he recognized that
Yeah.
and like went out of
So
his way
sick.
to say something supportive. That's fucking really cool.
Yeah, the sickest thing that ever happened to me for sure. Like that's the highlight of my life for sure. I think that and like having sex with your moms was pretty good too.
It was a good threesome.
Having a threesome with your mom. Those are the 2 highlights of my life. I mean, and we hung out afterwards, and I remember we didn't hang out like we didn't, hey Chris, what's up? It was more like he talked and I just sat there and like in awe and listened and like you know chimed in when I thought it was funny and like, yeah. He was a cool dude. He was very cool. He's like a dude that you could just kick it with, and he was a fucking super chill dude, man. Real ass dude.
Yeah.
The shittiest thing that happened that night was and I'm acting like this is a like interview about me right now.
Yeah.
Like, it's a sports
Like
show.
inside the actor's studio and
Yeah.
shit.
Like this is just like a one. Like, who cares?
But I've never heard the story now.
No, but I remember I asked for a quote. And I was about to ask for asking for a quote, and I think he would have maybe if he had a minute to think about it, he would have given me one. But basically, I got blocked because I asked him as he was like in the elevator.
You got quote blocked.
Yeah, by fucking. We won't say his name, but he was there.
He knows who he is.
Piece of shit. Anyways,
He definitely listens to this podcast.
He's one of the 8 listeners.
motherfucker.
Yeah, it's too bad. You should have thought of it earlier. You should have.
Yeah,
like,
but I was just kicking him. Oh shit, dude! It
Yeah.
didn't even occur to me. And then I emailed manager dude.
Is it
Never
Brian
got it.
Hennigan?
Brian
Hennigan.
Also a cool dude. Also a fun dude. I'm not talking like I know him and shit. Like,
Yeah.
He was just nice.
So
to me.
I
He
just
treated me-
name dropped him. And I've
Yeah, but yeah, he's
never
a
met
great
these
dude.
people.
Yeah, no, but he was when I met him, he was cool to me, man. He was cool, and I just never got around to it. But I never fault him for it, and I always think like, I'll just go back and I'll just earn my way. I'll just work to get comedy. If comedy brought me there, comedy will bring me back.
You'll get other opportunities like that in the future,
hope so.
not anytime soon.
Right.
And that was a massive opportunity
Dude,
to get,
seriously.
especially that early on.
But I was so aware of how big it was. I was
Yeah.
never like I never thought like, oh, this is gonna happen all the time. I'm fucking
Right.
hot shot day. I never.
Right.
I'm like, this is.
Well, there's nothing like going back to just doing open mics and you bomb here and there, and then like that'll fucking bring you back down to earth
Yeah.
pretty quickly. Like comedy has a way of like keeping you humble. As soon as you start getting a gassed head, that's when you fucking bomb, and then you go, oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it's like you hate yourself, so you get funny, and then you do well, and then you're like, oh my god.
Then you're happy, so then you get less funny, and then you bomb. It's a very like self-correcting system.
Yeah.
Yes.
But as long as the steady progression is happening.
Yes, the trajectory goes.
I remember after that show, you were like, yo, we're hanging out with Doug Stanhope. You want to come hang out with us?
Yeah.
And I was like, I didn't feel like I deserved it.
I got hockey.
I was
I
like,
would have said no as well.
but I was like, no, man, this is like your moment,
Yeah.
whatever. I didn't want to insert myself,
Dude,
but
I could have just chilled and listened.
what
That's what I did, no one's-
that night was the championship game of the hockey season,
Yeah.
and we had won. And it's not that big a deal. There's 4 fucking
But
teams.
to you, it is.
Well, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we won the championship, and as soon as we win, everybody's taking pictures and shit. I'm like, okay, guys, good season, good job, boys. I gotta go fucking see the Doug Stanhope show, and then I met up with them after, so that's why I didn't want to hang out. But also because I didn't feel
It was cool.
I'd be like, hey, I'm also a comedian. Like I just didn't want to.
Yeah. You know, and that's crazy because like I feel like now I wouldn't do. I don't know. I wouldn't. I feel like that's a very new comedian thing. And I'm dude. I haven't even done a shit in like fucking. Who knows if I can
What do you
do
mean
this
it's
shit?
a very new comedian thing?
Like, oh hey, I'm a comedian too. Like I don't know. I
Yeah.
feel like you kind of just show up and go up, and then they know, oh, that's the comedian. You don't have to be like, oh hey, I'm a comedian.
No, but I mean, me in that situation, if I went to hang out with you
that
guys,
too. But I guess like, I mean, I feel like if I was a Doug Stanhope level dude, I would want to know, like, oh, this is a real fucking scene. There's other comedians here. That's what I would want to hope to see. Like, oh, there's hopefully more than, if like 20 people come to me and say they're a comedian, and I'm in a city like Bangkok, it's like, oh shit, that's pretty interesting. Like, I don't know, there's so many fucking comedians here.
Yeah.
That's insane. I gotta dig deeper. But instead, it was just me and we're not gonna name his name. Just shows up and it's like, hey, you want to be in my new? Hey, we could use a lot of star power. You want to?
Yeah, but with
Oh my
hindsight,
God, dude.
would you be surprised that he did that? I wouldn't.
No. And I've done pretty
not
like,
really.
and like I don't know, man.
No, I'm not, oh, you mean that?
Yeah.
I thought, yeah, no surprise. Of course,
Yes.
of course. Everything's got to be about you somehow.
But I think it's bad because even if you don't, here's the thing: I could bomb tomorrow, but I will still walk off stage thinking that I got it. I know I got it in the tank somewhere, so I'm good.
Yeah.
And I still have, and you can still not me, but you, or maybe me a little bit for sure. But you can always have like a little bit of fuel for cockiness, I guess.
Oh no, absolutely.
Even if you bomb,
Because like if you know, I feel the same way. Like if I bomb, my immediate thought is, fuck, I want to get another mic like right now, so I can wash that stink off me. Because I'm not that guy. I'm the guy who's killed in other times.
Right.
So you still have. It just makes you like kind of more like hungry and just disappointed with yourself at the same time.
Yeah,
but it doesn't make you feel like defeated, really.
Right. It doesn't really defeat you.
Although
It
sometimes
depends how many times you bomb and how hard you bomb.
Right. Like if you took.
if you bomb like 3 times in a row, you start having those maybe this isn't for me type
What
thoughts.
the fuck am I doing?
Yeah, at Khao it was always amazing because it was like you never, no matter, you could bomb, but you would be able to pop back within the next day. You could fight for another chance to do well. And I think the longest I had like I think I had like 6 or 7 days of just bombing straight. I don't know what I was doing, but I was just not bringing it. And maybe the crowds were shitty, but like, you know. But then you would fucking do a monster job. You know,
No,
And it's
one of
just
those
so
nights
weird.
where the crowd is just lit and they're laughing at everything.
Yeah, dude.
Man,
And
those
just-
nights were fun.
Yeah, it was the best. Seriously.
It feels like, I mean, we've already said this, but it feels like so long ago.
Yeah, dude, it was like a year and a half ago.
It's a year and a half ago, which is not that long, but it feels like that was such like a different era.
That doesn't even make sense how, like, because that stopped and then nothing's replaced it except us just sitting in rooms
Yeah, this
for like
this is
a
the
half,
replacement.
year and a half. It just every day is just
Yeah, I get
sitting
that.
in a room.
I've been writing so many jokes, and then I reread them like 2 weeks later, and I'm like, this was shit. But there's no audience to tell them to, so that you get excited about something. It's just like there's no. It's like
It's really discouraging because like you think of something like I'll think of a good premise
yeah.
and I'll be like, what's the point even, because I'm not gonna be on stage anytime soon, so I'm not even like developing them.
Yeah.
Like I'm
But
thinking
we
of
should,
little
though,
jokes, but we should.
We should.
We should be doing
course.
other shit
We
too, though. We should be doing like sketches.
Well, yeah, we gotta. I think we gotta just. Here's the thing. I honestly believe that just the more you do, just if you just do something, you just gotta do something. It doesn't matter what you do as long as you do something.
Right.
You just gotta do something. You know what I mean? Whether it's writing or making a sketch or fucking anything, you just have something and make something and show people what you made, and like stay in that lane of like having an for instance
But look,
like just you're coming with something, you're coming prepared for something, or like you're turning on, you're on.
Right.
Right.
it's funny because like one thing I was thinking about was like, because I do short jokes and a bunch of
Took
them
me
are
30
not
seconds
good.
to say that. Sorry.
Yeah, no, but I was thinking, should I do like a TikTok account and then put them there and just like a
You could
story
just
mode
do-
of just short
yeah,
phrases.
right.
But
Do it all.
yeah, but the thing is, and here's the thing that's paralyzing me, is like because I have no stage to say them and be sure that they're funny and feel happy about them.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't have like a high of like, or bombing through them, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's like I'm gonna say them, and then I'm gonna bomb, and then nobody's gonna like them. So I'm just not doing it. I'm not touching it because I'm afraid of bombing on TikTok.
Well, that's
kind of
trying it. There's a fucking TikTok ad that I keep seeing, and it pisses me off because it's this girl. She's like pretty good looking, I guess.
Of course.
And she's like, what? It's like, I forget what the thing is. It says like one-liner or dad joke or something, and she's like, what part of the body always loses? Defeat. And then it ends. It makes me so fucking mad. So anyway,
so many better punchlines.
So there's no way you'll be worse than that.
Yeah, that's true. The bar is set pretty low.
But it's an ad.
All you gotta do is show up and try.
So I heard that there's an anniversary coming up.
Yeah, sorry. Oh yeah, baby, today's our anniversary. We've been seeing each other for a year.
Well, congratulations. I never thought you would go that long.
Yeah. And do you find it comforting to be slowly domesticated by a woman? Because I find comfort in it. I find like, I need to think a lot less.
It's a lot of like
improving.
Yeah, it's a lot of like shit that used to occupy your mind no longer really needs to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it's like, in a way, it has its own challenges and shit, but it also you drop a lot of baggage.
Yeah.
So it's good that way.
Yeah, but like I remember when you started dating your
Why are you making it so weird?
Because it's funny. Because I'm trying to be funny. No, but what I thought was funny was like in the first maybe month or couple of months, you had like nicer clothes. Like you were cleaner.
Right.
You were showered.
Because she taught him how to shower properly.
And then we came to your place and it was a mess. And then after like a month, it looked nicer. Everything was like better.
That's what women do. That's what the effect.
No, but she doesn't make the place better necessarily. But it's just like she makes you want to have a better place, like to make things tidier and like.
Yeah.
There's something about
Giving her a lot of credit right now.
Right.
I'm sorry.
It's not that.
No. Yeah, it does. It makes it change. I don't know, man.
Because when I met my wife, like the first time she came to my house, she was like, "Oh, I'm gonna," because she likes to cook, and she was like, "I'm gonna come to your house. I'm gonna make you a meal." That sounds amazing. And then she came to my place, and all I had was like frozen pizza, and just like all my drinks were in order, just like my soft drinks just in one shelf of the fridge, just my chocolates in a different shelf. Just everything, and I had no food, just no food. And she was like, "Do you have a pan?" I was like, "Well, I have one pan."
Yeah.
And she was like, "Do you have salt?" I was like, "Not really." It's like, I don't have salt.
Yeah, that's similar.
I don't need
Very
salt.
Similar. Oh my god.
And now now I'm like, "Oh, there's food in my fridge, and there's like options." And
I don't know. I think I like the way you. What was the question you said? How does it feel to be domesticated? Yeah. Like I was some kind of feral dog on the fucking street.
A little bit.
Like I was tamed and like brought to heel and shit.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the first time I went to your
but
place,
I'm still a dog though, dude. All right.
I mean, okay, fair enough. You're quite young.
You're more like a hyena.
But
and then she's one of those like.
I was saying this the other day. I was like, I was telling Carol this the other day.
You were keeping your clothes in a garbage bag. You had a dripping aircon that you just didn't fix.
Yeah, well, I was right.
You had a bucket.
Dude, like I was amazed that anyone would even follow me into that room, dude. Like seriously, that was the worst. I was surprised I even had friends. That room was trash. I have a video. It's funny. I made a video about it, and I'll edit it one day. But it's just like a walkthrough of my bedroom, my house on, and just how shitty everything is, dude. Everything, the microwave, I remember the fridge was awful. The fridge was leaking. I'm like, here's the water in my fridge, and it was actually like literal water, a puddle of water at the bottom. Like I didn't even have a bottle of water. And then like the AC was dripping, and it was dripping in this bucket like the size of it was a real ass bucket, and it's full. And I would pour it in the toilet every 4 hours and clean it out. And then I would lift the toilet seat up, and it wouldn't even be attached to the fucking toilet.
Yeah.
God.
Dude, that place was terrible.
Yeah, but
and you never had toilet paper.
Dude, I was such a monster.
I never understood how those guys live without toilet paper.
Yo, it's got a wet asshole.
Like, why is there no toilet paper?
I just constantly have
a just guns asshole. In air dries.
I just run and gun, bro. Still run and gun offense. I just run it.
I understand saving money, but like toilet paper seemed like an essential.
No, to him that's like.
But here's the thing,
that's it's a nice to have. It's not necessary.
I was rescued from that, but honestly, I could have lived like that for like 100 more years. You know what I mean? I could have lived like that.
Yeah.
Forever, because I was just like, oh, this is fine.
As
I'm
long
like, yeah,
as
this is totally fine. I remember looking around like
this is normal.
This is fine. Like everything is
Dude,
fine.
it was so that time
fine.
where like you and Steve are living in that building and you're just doing shows like 6 days a week, and then the other day you're doing Raw.
Right.
It's like sick for the comedy, but like, I would go maybe twice in the week, and I'd be like, that's enough, Khao-san, till next week.
Yeah, dude.
But you guys just lived there.
Yeah.
It must have been fucking exhausting.
It was exhausting, but it was also like, dude, it was just like an extension of college. To me, it was just like, it was actually better than college, dude. It was like, it didn't make sense, man. But it was just like, I don't know. It was like living on a fucking. It's like it's like living in a dream world. It's like Disneyland. Every day is like new people, and like none of the storylines attach ever.
Right.
And it's just fucking random and like ridiculous and uncertain. And that's what I loved about it the most, was like I lived for that. What's gonna happen today?
I mean, there was a potential for adventure almost every day.
Every day, dude. Like I remember I dropped acid, and we did a show. I remember doing a show on acid, and it did terrible. I bombed. I repeated the same joke twice.
Yeah, but you enjoyed yourself
That
out
is
there.
hilarious.
Yeah, and then I remember I didn't know I bombed, and then I was bombing. But I told them I was on acid. They all liked me, and they clapped. And then I'm like, actually, can you guys just keep clapping? I want to just feel the energy. And I just made them clap for like 2 minutes. And then I told like the same joke. And then Steve says that I said the N-word on stage, but I don't think I said the N-word on stage.
I don't think you did.
I don't think I did. Steve's like, yeah, you said that.
I would have noticed that. He was also on acid.
Yeah,
so.
Steve was on acid. He didn't know any better. He was on acid too.
Maybe he thought every word you said was the N word.
I remember we spent the whole night laughing, we spent the whole night crying, laughing, and like we just we walked around. But I remember the end of the night, we finished off. We went to this club called The Deep, which is like the shitty 2-story house next to the 7-Eleven on Robbery Tree, and it's like a fucking club. And it's like, it's just so grimy, and it's so like, it's just packed to the brim with Thai people, and it's insane Thai techno music. And like, I remember going in there, and I'm like, dude, yo, I'm your cousin. Like, yo, like, I can't even process what's going on in there. It was like way too Asian.
Yeah.
It was like,
dude, I remember you because I was with you guys while I'm sober. And
Dude,
you were just freaking out about the concept of Asian people. Like you were just like, yo, there's so many Asians around here, and like I'm like one of them. It's crazy. Like look how Asian that guy is. And I'm like, yeah, dude, we're in Asia. That's not that weird.
God, dude. Yeah. And like all the characters. What I love is the characters, because there was like all the characters on Khao-san. Of course, we had the guy that ran the place. Right, he's a real character.
Yeah, but there were characters.
But real characters, though. I mean, like for instance, there was a old homeless lady who would, she didn't work anywhere, but she would just stand next to the people working, and she would like just raise her hand up and like present something.
Yeah,
I guess.
Come to my place.
And she's like an old lady in like a dirty dress, and she was there every day. She was like, what was her name? Troll lady. That was her nickname, Troll Lady. And then there was a diaper boy.
She was like probably in her 50s. Big, and she'd wear like a little schoolgirl skirt and like a shitty like metallic pink like bra thing.
Yeah, dude.
And like just a mess, and she would just be shit faced like with a bucket, like dancing out in front of
Like
whatever
every
bar.
day. Yeah. And then there was diaper man or blanket guy, or blanket boy, and there was a dude, grown man, and he would carry a blanket around, or he would tie a blanket to his underwear, and he would walk around in his underwear and his shirt on Khao-san. And I remember one time he found like a little sailor hat, dude, and he put a sailor hat on, and he's like saluting in his underwear with a blanket. And
that's kind of fun,
dude. He was insane, and he hated me. I remember he cursed me out like at least twice, because I saw him every day. I walked past him all the time, and but he was a crazy person. I don't want to get rabies.
What was his problem with you?
I don't know. He would curse at me in Thai for shit, and
You're not
he was crazy though.
He's like, yeah,
You're
you're
funny.
You're not funny.
Yeah, you're
I
fucking,
saw you perform. I
You fucking
regret.
hack.
Yeah.
And then who else was there? Then there was Troll Lady. There was Diaper
Pussy
Boy.
Man.
Pussy Man. And then there was Pussy Man, dude. The guy, remember that dude?
Yeah,
and he
of
would,
course.
every day, oh, how big your pussy? Or whatever. He would. He was remember he was a flyer guy. He would pass out flyers for a vegan restaurant.
Well, that's what he was doing.
Yeah, and he would go to chicks, And he would come up to me. He's like, he would say, hey, how do you say like you got a nice pussy in English? And I would tell him how to say it in English. And I'm like, well, listen, if he's gonna say it, like at least let him say it grammatically correct. You know, you can't stop this guy. He's a monster. He might as well,
Might as well give him the tools.
Right, exactly. To say
but
it
so he would just go, hey, you have a nice pussy.
Yeah, he would say weird shit like that. But he would say it in an Asian accent as he passed out. Hello, pussy, you nice?
Did that vegan restaurant get any clients?
No, they did terrible. Like, what? I'm like, bro, listen, this is how you do it. I'm like, you want to pass out flyers? Like hey, fucking, hey, show me pussy. Show me the pussy in there. And flyers.
Yeah, that's cool. That's just harassment.
I remember I had a show in my head, like, what if troll lady, diaper boy, or aka blanket boy, and pussy man, if they had if they rented an apartment together, and just follow.
They're like
the real characters of Khao-san.
Yeah, they're like Power Rangers.
Dude, they're characters, man. There's so many characters. Tons of characters.
But there's characters everywhere. Like in my little town in Spain, there's a bunch of characters, and every time I go there, I forget I forget about them, and then I see them again. I'm like, I can't believe these people exist. And then I talk to my friends I'm like, yeah, dude, this guy is what it is. Like, because sometimes I feel like, oh, I'm being judgy for this person, and I talk to my friends who live there every year, the whole year long, and I'm like, no, he is special. Like there's this one guy who's like in his 70s, I guess, or 60s or 70s. Mm-hmm. And he's got long white hair. He wears a cowboy hat. He's got a bunch of rings. He's got rings on every finger, and he rides a tiny little bicycle around town, like a kid's bicycle that he got. And he just rides that all day long, and he's just going with that everywhere. And then he just like looks like a weirdo, and he's just like. But he never harms anyone, yeah. and he looks clean. Like he's got a house. He's not homeless or anything. But he just decided this is my look and this is me. Like I ride my tiny bicycle. I love to wear rings and a cowboy hat.
Does he ever talk to anyone?
Yeah. He's got friends and stuff. Like he's
got a whole crew.
He's got a crew. Like he's a character, dude.
Oh my god.
He's a character, and then at some point,
does he think he's funny?
I don't know.
Is he doing this to be funny, or is he a funny guy?
No, it's just who he is. And then
no, that's
he's who he is, and then at some point, like they opened what's the politically correct term? Like
a bordello or something.
A place of business for sex workers. That had 2 sex workers.
Oh my god!
At the entrance of the town, and then he a friend of his got him like a punching like a card, like a subscription thing. Right. Like he can get if you get 5, you get the 6th one for free or something.
They have that at the brothels?
I think they had it to promote it at the beginning. Yeah.
Wow.
Sweet.
This guy sounds like the real deal.
He was special.
What kind of bicycle was it?
But that was I've only ever seen it in Spain. It was called la motoreta, and it was like a U-shaped. It was like a bicycle for girls because it had no middle bar, but it was like that for boys. It was unisex though. It was like kind of like, and if you really like put pressure on it, you could sort of bend it.
What the fuck?
And it was.
I would rather just. Stay home than ride that shit.
Yeah, seriously.
But there was a bunch of characters.
But then who's
there.
Gonna see your rings and your cowboy hat?
Yeah.
Wow. Dude, there's a lot of people like that.
Yeah.
Wasn't there a guy? Wasn't there a clown?
Dude, there was some weird guy that would walk around and do puppets and shit.
Yeah,
a weird French guy. Do you remember that? And he would have a microphone and say shit, and he would have he would make noises, and he wasn't getting paid. He was just
doing it. And I remember looking at him going like, that's our competition right now.
Yeah.
We're kind of in the same business as that guy.
I'm doing comedy and I'm not getting paid right now.
Yeah.
Competition.
I'm going to get paid 300 baht.
This is a competition. Oh my god, that guy was a fucking mess, man. And then, do you remember a midget motorcycle lady? Every day at exactly like 8:45, a midget would drive by on a motorcycle with a sidecar,
full of like toilet paper.
It was full of like toilet paper and rice and noodles and shit. Like, what the fuck is going on? And she would just block traffic in that little tiny ass street. She would just congest the entire fucking walkway and shit with her fucking giant motorcycle. And she'd be a midget on a motorcycle, and everyone's like, ooh,
how authentic.
Right? But it's like, that's her ego trying to get stroked too. She's like, yeah, I'm the midget on the motorcycle, fuck you.
Yeah, she was kind of drawing attention to herself, right?
Yeah, definitely.
She knew that there was some showmanship going on.
Like,
dude.
It's crazy, like, Khao-san, like, at the time, like I love doing the shows,
Yeah.
but I hated everything else about it.
Yeah. Dude, it's an
But
ecosystem.
now,
It was
but
an
now
ecosystem.
I would love to I would fucking happily go hand out flyers for 2 hours on the Khao San Road.
That'd be amazing. That sounds amazing right now.
Yeah, that would be fun.
It sounds so much fun.
I'm waiting to see what they can open up, so there's some legal loophole that we can do comedy again. In
Yeah,
any
well, like,
way, like
as soon as-
whatever
okay,
the
like,
We
way
can do
it
comedy before 9 o'clock, dude. We
Yeah,
just do
so
it,
but
do like 3 o'clock in the
let's-
afternoon.
Let's say the curfew ends, then you could do it at like private residences or like in an outdoor
But right
area.
now, there's a limit to the number of people that can meet together.
yeah,
right?
yeah.
What's
so
the limit?
I think it's 5.
Yeah.
What if, like, we all just show up randomly to
Well, I mean, we could talk
a
about this.
secret comedy show?
We talk about
right
this
now,
off.
there's nothing. Right now, there's nothing.
Now
I
you
just
got-
wish there was.
I'm not. We can talk about it because it's never gonna happen.
But if they said it's 10 people or 20 people, we could already have some sort of show.
As soon as the curfew ends, we'll get some shit.
But why
If
can't we
they
just
said
do it
10
before
people?
curfew? Why can't we just do a show at 5 to fucking 7? And so, but you're gonna be in your house anyway, dipshit. So fucking come to the 5
but
o'clock
like,
show.
but
nobody has any excuses that are valid anymore.
Right,
to,
it's
like,
all
not,
bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
but
like-
with 10 people, you could say all the comedians hang out in one space,
Yeah.
and then the crowd is in another space,
Yeah,
and then you could have
Totally. Yeah, totally.
a crowd of
There's
10
ways.
or whatever.
Honestly, there's ways to make it work, but who knows if they'll ever
And
that'll ever happen.
Should we wrap up?
Should we wrap up though? I
I'm
don't know,
good
man.
till 6:30
What before we close out,
because my guy is at 6:30.
what was the time when you opened your phone just now?
It's 5:50.
How many guys messaged you? Also, if
Zero,
you're bad
unfortunately.
at speaking French, you're talking about how you were losing your ability to speak French like 2 hours ago.
Yeah.
You should probably start fucking more French dudes.
Yeah, that's one way to
Probably
need a
go.
French
make out with
business
more French guys.
guy.
Yeah. But it's a weird thing because it's like, so, like I was talking to my grandpa, and he's got a particular kind of accent. He's got like the Northern Ontario French accent. So it's like I don't even know what accent I'm supposed to be speaking in. Like when I'm speaking French, I'm like, do I do the standard like I'm at school, or do I try to sound like my grandpa? It's just kind of weird.
Wow.
Just because like I'm
Is it
so
acceptable anywhere? Is it all acceptable to French?
Yeah, yeah. Well, like I mostly just like I'll just like switch to English if I don't know a particular word or whatever. I'll just kind of like explain it in English and then switch back to French.
Wow.
And he understands you.
Yeah, yeah. He speaks English like fluently, but it's just we just speak French to each other. So it's just a weird feeling to like not be able to communicate in your first
Right.
language.
But
But
is
do you read more in French? Do you,
No, not at all. I was reading the Count of Monte Cristo in French, and I was kind of struggling with it.
Are there any
because it's like very old style French.
Are there any French movie theaters in Canada?
Yeah, sure. Like in Quebec, there's a whole like movie industry in Quebec.
So like there's like films.
There's-
like,
and
you
they
go
got-
to a theater and
they
watch
got
a movie
French-
in French.
Sure.
Wow.
They got French pornos too.
Ooh.
They pretty much just
Ooh la la.
like Quebec, like so. Canada in general, we don't have that much of our own shit, like movies and stuff, and
Sure.
TV shows. We do a little bit, but mostly everybody just watches American shit. But Quebec, because they're French, they have their own distinct thing. So they have way more like TV shows and movies and bands, and like they have their whole like culture. It's almost like it's a different country.
Wow. Is it
And then when French people like Rick watch the movies, they need to have subtitles because they don't understand them because it's so different.
Wow.
It's
Wow,
hilarious.
that's crazy. So it's not the same language.
No, it is. It's like a heavy accent. It's like, you know, if you have a hard time understanding a Scottish guy or whatever.
Well, it's an act.
It's an accent, and there's slang and there's different.
Yeah, slang is different, but and also there's like it's like the same thing between like Spain and Latin America, where like some words have the use over time has changed a little bit. So,
Yeah.
so like in Latin America, they'll keep using certain words for certain things that we don't use that way anymore, or the other way around.
Yeah.
And with Canadian French, it'll be like, what, you still use that word for this? Or
Yeah. So it's like, because the people that came to Canada were
Yeah.
like peasants in like the 1600s, 1700s.
Why did they come to Canada? Do you know?
Because just, more opportunities and stuff. And also they kind of got tricked into doing it. Was a lot of just like peasants. And then the king, Louis the 16th, I believe, or it might have been 14th, I don't know. But he got a bunch of women. So this is interesting. Like, so they're the dudes who moved to Canada were mostly from like Normandy and shit.
Okay.
and then they have their own kind of regional languages. But then, because it was only dudes, and the king wanted to like maintain the French population there, so he got like a bunch of girls or women from Paris, and then sent them over. It was called Les Filles du Roi, like the girls of the king. No, not as a trick, as like a.
Are there movies about this?
Yeah, to try to build up the population so that like they could rival the English colonies. So a bunch of like Parisian women moved to Canada to be wives for these like farmer dudes.
Wow, that sucks.
And then that's why, instead of speaking their regional dialects, that's why like common French of the time became the language in Quebec.
They were allowed to impress these
but
French
then,
chicks.
like, because there was, and then so when France abandoned New France and the British took over, they started like taking a bunch of words from English. So that made the language kind of evolve a bit, and then this is not happening in France. No. So there's a bunch of like loan words from English that start happening, but then later there's like a big like nationalist movement. This is not funny.
No, it's interesting. I'm in it.
But so there's a big nationalist movement in Quebec. So they had this thing. They don't want to like they want to be like real French and not take like loan words from English anymore. But then that started happening in France. So you guys say like parking or what, like parking? You just say parking. Yeah. Right? We would say stationnement. And then like they say on their stop signs they just have stop on the stop sign, and we have arrêt.
No, though I think it was in the 90s. There was a big movement in France to remove all English words from French. And what was really funny for us in Belgium was that we had none of that because we're in Belgium, so we could keep talking the way we used to. But like you would watch a French show and they'd be like, well, now it's instead of saying the weekend, they would say le fin de semaine, and they were forced to by law. What
does that mean?
They passed a law that said that
the grammatical difference.
Well, no, it's just weekend. It's the loan word, and then in French you're saying end of week.
Okay, that's what you're saying.
Yeah, but in French we say weekend.
Yeah.
The weekend.
Yes, but now on TV because these gay laws.
But we would always say fin de semaine.
Jesus.
Yeah, you would, but different words, and it was just like blowing my
How do you say
mind.
time to blow a bunch of dudes or whatever? Because that's the time.
Yeah.
It's the weekend.
Il est temps de sucer plein de mecs.
I remember when French dudes would walk by in Calçon, I would be like, la motocyclette de Elien motocyclette de mon cul.
Yeah, but it made everyone laugh.
He asked me. He was like, so you can say anything in French? And I was like, yeah. And he's like, how do you say there's a motorcycle in my ass? He's like, il y a motocyclette dans mon cul.
Perfect.
And then, he just started saying that to all French people.
Yeah.
And then they would usually just be like, what?
Yeah. Is it funny to them, you think, or is it stupid?
No, I think it's just weird.
Yeah, because if you taught an Asian person, it'd be like, I got a motorcycle in my ass.
Yeah, just
French people have a strange sense of humor.
Yeah.
So I don't think they would.
No, they would just be like, is this guy making fun of me? Like, what is this? And they would just be confused. Well, think about how you would react.
How do you say what?
If quoi? Think if some dude came up to you and said, "Hey man, there's a motorcycle in my ass."
I'm like, cool. How do you? My name's Chris.
Cool. Hey, me too. It's weird.
Me too.
You want to be friends?
I got a motorcycle on my ass. If someone said I got a motorcycle on my ass, I would say, how do you even say that? What do you respond to that with?
Yeah, you go,
what did people respond to you with?
No, they usually just
cool, let me
like,
get a ride. Cool, let me get a ride. I don't know. I was looking for someone with the perfect answer for that question. I don't know. But I do remember my favorite thing on, I think what I would say mostly to people was, hey, will you marry me? Like,
hey, why are you so beautiful? Will you marry me?
You also said, hey, you dropped something.
Hey, you dropped this. And then also, hey, you look like a beautiful mouse. Like, if there was an action figure of me and like I had a voice.
Yeah, right. That.
You push my button and be like, yo, you look like a beautiful mouse. Hey, you dropped this. Hey, you dropped this.
This is amazing.
This is amazing. Holy shit.
It'd just be you with flyers.
That's like the official Calçon Chris action doll.
Why don't you do that?
That would actually be sick. I'd buy one.
When you press the button, it's like,
hey, why are you so
Someone's
beautiful?
banging this
I would
chick,
marry you. Hey, will you marry me? That's the dumbest question. Isn't that the dumbest thing you
But you would only say it to like really Asian girls.
To really hot Chinese. No, I would say it to everybody.
But mostly Chinese
Mostly
girls.
dudes. No, yeah, mostly Chinese girls. Because Chinese girls, I'd also would say like, I remember there's like a really hot, I remember, but she was so small, but she was so hot. And I'm like, excuse me, you look like a beautiful mouse. I'm like, will you take this? And she said, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, get the fuck. She's like, what is going
Do you
on?
ever fuck up and think that they were like whatever, Chinese or Korean or something, but then turns out they're like American?
Yeah, that's happened.
And then they're like,
sure.
what the fuck's wrong with you?
Yeah,
Like,
you're like, like, what the fuck? There was remember there was this American chick, and she was Chinese looking, right? She was like Chinese, I guess, but American. I don't know why it's so funny. Anyway, I'm like, hey, excuse me, will you be my girlfriend or something? I said something stupid, and she's like, what'd you say? And I'm like, hey, comedy show tonight, 9:00. I'm like,
Oh,
sorry,
man.
like, what'd you say before? Like, don't worry about it.
we were talking about like mistaking an Asian, like you don't realize that they're like Western.
Right, perfect.
We were on the BTS, right? We just seen this commercial. I don't know if you guys have seen it. It's fucking hilarious. It's a commercial for like skin cream, like skin whitening cream. And it's a woman, this Thai girl, like she wants to get like the nice skin whitening cream. So she gets a ticket and then gets on this boat. And she gets a fish and then she gets on this boat. And then they drive all the way to France on the boat. They sail to France. And then there's a sign out in the ocean and it says France, but like in Thai. And then it says France under it.
So stupid.
And then she goes, gook, 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 which apparently is how you call whales in Thai. I don't know, but that's what she was saying, and I was like, this is offensive. And anyway, so then she drops the fish in the water, and then a whale, like a big fucking like a humpback whale,
Yeah.
like comes and like eats the fish, even though that's not actually what those whales eat. And then it dives under the ocean, and then it jumps up and splashes. And then the girl, it like pans to her, and she's on the boat, and she gets splashed, but with the face whitening cream. So it's like a white, like a white load. Just hits her in the face, and she's all like,
Oh my god.
and it's like, oh, this skin whitening cream is so good. But it makes it seem as if the whale just fucking blew a load in her face. So we had just seen that commercial, and we're on the BTS. It's me and like a couple other English teachers. And we're talking about it. We're like, yo, how much would a whale actually jizz? Like, it'd probably be a lot, right? And like, it would be like a bucket. And I'm like, nah, dude, it's got to be more than that. Like, it would be like a kiddie pool, like full of jizz. This is a humpback whale here, bro. That's a lot of jizz. And then this chick who's just standing near us, she turns around, she goes, I really wish I didn't speak English right now.
Like, was that a Thai chick?
Yeah, it was a Thai chick who, I think she was Australian, but she was like Thai.
She watched a lot of funny
She's like, oh, I
cartoons.
really wish I didn't speak English right now.
And you could have said, well, you don't.
Yeah. No, and then
was
I had to. I was like, no, because we saw because we saw a
you
commercial.
don't,
We saw a commercial where the whale jumps out and it looks. So that's why we're talking about whale jizz. We don't just know. And she's like, okay, that makes sense.
She gave you an opening. That's
Yeah.
like pretty much her saying, I want to get jizzed on.
Yeah, I want your
I
load
want
of
your
whale
whale. I
cum.
want your whale load. What a time to take a BTS. I want to take a BTS right now.
Yeah, talk about whale jizz.
Like, we can take the BTS, we just don't know where to go with it.
Yeah, we
There's just
can't
no
wait.
point because there's nowhere that's open.
Yeah,
Like, oh, I could take the BTS right now, but
That's
I
a
don't know
bummer.
what I'd do.
it's a bummer, man.
Yeah, I miss just
Everything.
life. Yeah, because like being on the beach, even like occasionally I have to take it to go into the
Yeah.
office or whatever, and it's like everyone's wearing masks, so you can't tell if the chick's hot or not. It's fucking annoying. It's enough of this shit.
Stop.
Well, you
about
can tell if
bad.
she's hot, you just can't tell if
You
she's
just look at her
cute.
figure.
Yeah.
Her figure looks good.
Yeah,
You
she
can
looks
assume.
good, but I want to see what else is going on. I just want to just go back to just being a creep, and these masks are making it hard.
Do you think at some point the mask is gonna be like it's gonna be erotic, like it's gonna be like cleavage mask, like ooh, I can see a bit of her cheek because
Yeah,
of the mask.
totally.
It's like I can see the bottom of her chin because it's not covering that part,
yeah.
right?
Yeah,
And people will be like wearing like thin like strand masks or like thicker strand
strand
masks, and you'll get like tan lines on your face and be like, oh, that's sick.
yeah. It'll be like the new tits. It's just seeing a mouth.
Just seeing
It's like seeing someone's vagina now. It's like seeing their mouth.
Ooh. Like
Ooh,
seeing,
she's got a nice mouth.
like in Lord of the Rings, that deleted scene with the fucking.
And she takes her
mouth
mask
is
off.
He's like,
Does anyone here have the authority to treat with me? Damn, I thought she was hot. The Dark Lord bids you welcome.
Do you and then the like women would be like, well, he doesn't have enough game to be entitled to this face or something,
Right.
If you got it flaunted, it's kind of like,
Oh man. Yeah, dude. Let me see what that mouth do. Hey, run that. Hey, let me see what that mouth do. As they say where I'm from.
I just feel like and I'm entering into a controversial territory, and then you'll decide whether this can stay in this podcast or not. But I really feel in a way, the mask and the obligation to wear a mask, in a way, like fundamentalists win, because they've been trying to tell people that they should cover their face for a long time, and now you have to cover your face.
So I guess so you're saying like really hardcore Muslim women who wear like niqabs, they're already like ahead of the game.
Yeah, they were ahead of the game the whole time.
Do they need to wear masks under there? They already got the shit.
I guess in a way it depends what kind of fabric they're using. But yeah,
they got to double.
Yeah,
up.
and like how do you check?
Yeah.
Do they wear the mask on the outside of the niqab or do they have it under?
I have no idea.
Yeah, the niqab is like the one where it's just like the veil. And then there's the burqa where it's like the screen that you can kind of see through, but you can't see in.
But that's even more. Like that's even.
What about
more
a balaclava? What is a balaclava?
That's the terrorist one. That's just the
only terrorists wear
balaclava.
Only Yugoslavian terrorists wear balaclavas.
That's a weird. So this is just a ski mask.
Yeah, exactly. But
it's funny because in the like Basque terrorists back in the day had like their own special mask. Like it looked like a balaclava. It was kind of open ended. It was like a mix of like a Kuk Klux Klan mask, just falling down with like two holes, but just no pointy hat. It was scary.
That's crazy.
Amongst other things, the Ku Klux Klan outfit is fucking stupid.
No, dude.
It doesn't look badass at all. It looks really dumb.
Why
do you have this giant pointy hat?
I'm Spanish, I disagree.
What's up with that?
Why?
Because in Spain, the Ku Klux Klan uniform is a traditional Spanish Catholic Christian costume that's used like for certain celebrations.
They're using it wrong. They're supposed to use that to rape little boys. It's not supposed to be racism.
Yeah, I mean,
come on.
It's still used for very wrong reasons.
All across the board,
I think the Ku Klux Klan.
Yeah.
Is it worse? It is definitely worse.
They're
competing for the worst of the worst.
Well, no, but
that look
like
is retired though.
That's just dumb look.
Looks bad.
Like the Nazi uniforms look sick. Even we've already talked about.
But the thing is, so the Ku Klux Klan wears the white one, right? I don't think they've worn other colors, but in Spain I've seen it with other colors. And like for example in black, I think it looks like menacing. Like I find it like I have a cultural bias to be impressed by this, right? So. But I find it scary. Then you'll see.
Yeah, it'd be certainly scary to the black dude that they're chasing.
Yeah,
no, but I mean, okay.
Terrifying.
Yes, it will be scary. I mean, they'll be scared because somebody's wanting to lynch them, not necessarily because.
It's not like, oh my god, the outfit.
I don't think it's the outfit that's doing it.
It's more like, oh.
Oh no, not there.
Oh, that makes it so much worse.
But I saw a documentary about this New York photographer. I can't remember his name now, and I'm ashamed of this. But he did a whole series of portraits of Ku Klux Klan people. It was very interesting.
I guess it does look. So I just think it looks whack, but it does look scary. Like it's like some weird cultish shit.
Yes, but it's like that big pointy hat. That's fucking like the Pope's hat. It's like 1 degree. If the Pope just like curled his head a little bit more, it would turn into a cone. You know what I mean?
Dude, the Catholic it's like the Vatican City is so gay.
Yeah.
Like the way they have the Swiss Guard. Yeah, and they got these weird puffy pants and these stupid little fucking like elf shoes.
Yeah.
But why wouldn't it be Gates?
What's the legend of the
And the
Swiss
Pope
Guard?
himself, like he outfit is super gay. He got this giant gold necklace, and you got fucking purple shoes.
The messenger of God.
I'm assuming beyond the pedophilia, that in a way becoming a priest has been a refuge for a lot of gay people for years, like been a sanctuary for gay people.
Yeah, probably.
Because they're protected in the church. It's like separated from state. They have
Jesus
laws that
so
protect
hot
them.
Up there. Jesus
yeah, but a lot of them were gay. Gay. Like
I read a thing about this, and it's true.
Okay.
There's I'm not talking about pedophiles here. I'm just talking about like normal gay dudes, and there's tons of those guys. in high-ranking positions in the church.
Yeah.
And it's like a little known, like around Rome and shit. Like all the journalists kind of know that.
Yeah, well,
Like,
high fashion, high religion,
Yeah.
they go, high priest and high fashion go
Yeah,
together.
but they were the high fashion of their time.
Right.
They were like all the
Yeah,
bling,
what
the
no
decorations.
straight guy would come up with that outfit.
Hey, cute shoes, Cardinal Russell,
Yeah.
or whatever. Cardinal Pontificus Maximus. Those are some nice little purple shoes you got there.
I saw recently a video of I think it was Andrew Schultz on his podcast, and they have some videos with some a gay comedian. I don't remember his name. But
Yeah, Mateo something or other.
yeah, they've seen
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
But
he's
he was
funny.
Yeah, he's
he was very funny. But he was talking about the gay accent. They were talking about it.
Yeah, I
It
didn't
was
see
kinda
that
cool.
that clip.
I've seen that. Yeah, so he was really. So at least he was acknowledging that there's definitely a voice, and it's the same
course it's a
voice
voice.
everywhere.
Yeah.
So no, because he was
It
like,
is
I've been
the
to
same
Italy,
voice.
and Italians were like, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, yeah.
So he was like doing the accent, and he was like, so that comforted me that there is a voice, because I was like, am I being prejudiced because I think that gays have an accent? But
No,
they've
a lot
developed
of
it.
them,
Yeah, but everywhere you go in the world,
Even
they're gonna
like
talk a little
yeah.
bit. They're gonna turn up a little bit.
Even like in Quebec, like c'est ma voisine. Est
Yeah.
partie. Yeah, it's you can hear it.
I mean, in Thailand, you don't even gotta. I don't even gotta explain anything. You
Yeah.
can just go on TikTok or anything. You can just stick your head out the window and you'll hear a gay guy's voice in like 10 seconds, probably.
But I mean, yeah, I guess. But
Where are we going with this?
I don't know. But it's just I've never read
There's
about
too many
why was there a voice? Like, where did it come from? What was the origin? Like, how did it start? I have no idea about this, and it kind of like I was like.
What is it though? Is it just to show everybody like, hey, like I'm available?
But I'm assuming because of
Well,
the
it's who they are
spectrum
inside.
of gender identification.
Right.
Some I don't want. Some people will want to sound more feminine
Right.
by doing a
okay,
certain
yeah.
voice, and then maybe over time that developed into something, or maybe not. Maybe it's
Well,
just
they probably
this
just
thing.
they
have no idea.
might just speak that way naturally. Like, are you saying that gay guys are like dialing it up, like they're doing it
I
on
think
purpose?
they are because they have a specific accent. I'm sure when they were kids and they were just surrounded by their family and
maybe
they didn't
it's-
know any better, they didn't have that accent.
Maybe
They
it's
had no
'cause
contact with other gay people.
It's their way of attracting other gay
That had
people.
the
Well,
accent.
because like I went to school with a gay guy and he didn't come out till after high school, but everybody knew he was gay from.
But did he have
elementary
a
school,
voice?
And he did, yeah.
My friend,
Oh, because
I haven't heard him talk in a while, but
But it got way more pronounced after he came out.
Yeah, so yeah, exactly. I have a gay friend that came out super late, and everybody knew he was gay, but he didn't have a voice. It's just he was always very secretive about like some girlfriend that he had in a different city, and he would never talk. But and he was, I guess, a little like he wasn't a very alpha male kind of guy. But then you can also not be an alpha male and not be gay. And
Yeah,
then,
You
but
trying
then
to say something here, Rick?
yeah. But when he came out, after he came out, he still kind of like wasn't having the voice. But then he started having more boyfriends, and then he got married, and now he definitely has a voice.
Two dudes that I went to high school with, they didn't come out till after high school, and as soon as they did, they seemed so much fucking happier.
Oh yeah,
It must be a ridiculous like burden
that was
to
terrible.
carry.
yes,
So it's so much better that you just fucking do your thing from the beginning.
right.
I
Live
mean,
your
I
truth,
don't know.
man.
My buddy who came out in the little town, he was saying that okay, before he came out, he kind of took shit, but people couldn't confirm anything. And after he came out, he had family problems.
Yeah.
He had like people were
Yeah,
bullying
totally.
him on purpose. But he also gained a lot of friends and self-respect and just felt much more
Right,
comfortable in
right.
his skin. But it wasn't easy.
No,
It was-
absolutely,
He
yeah.
took shit. It was
Like,
hard.
yeah, if you've got like a conservative family or whatever, I could see how that would be.
Yeah. His father disowned
Totally.
him.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't. Like,
That's real shit.
It was awful. It was
Yeah.
awful.
one of my closest friends came out. He's my best friend. Like we fucking went to school together. We've been best bros since like third grade.
We were fucking.
Yeah, we had gay sex all the time. No, he was like my best bro since like third grade, and he came out, and I don't know his experience, but I'm assuming that like once you come out, dude, it's a totally new world for you. Like it's totally not a good world or a bad world that's worse or better. It's just
Just
different.
new.
It's just new. It's just
Yeah.
now you're allowed to kind of look at everything differently and approach life and everything, or just be yourself and shit.
Right.
That's got to be like.
That's got to be so liberating. That's
yeah.
that's what's
That's
kind of
crazy.
like.
It's crazy.
I'm a little bit jealous of that almost.
Yeah, but this is me. This is my world. This is
You're allowed to come out as whoever you are.
Yeah, I know, but I don't have
Right.
I've always just been who I am. I've never had to like hide anything.
Yeah, exactly.
So now I don't get to discover a new world. This is just the world.
Well, I mean, I'm not saying I
That's a
came
great
out,
point.
but I did transition from a point where I was extremely insecure about how I looked to a point where I decided I didn't give a shit anymore.
Okay.
So like, I used to take a lot of shit for being skinny,
Yeah.
and I would, I would choose my clothes because of that, and I would
Like,
a bunch of shit I had to be careful about.
Rick's like, fuck it, I'm a real boy.
No, no, but at some point I
Shit.
was like, and
Doing
people were like, "Oh my god, maybe you should eat more." I was like, "Maybe you should eat less," and they were like,
Yeah,
"Ugh."
yeah,
And
that's
I
how-
just like, just go fuck yourself.
You gotta fucking snap the fuck back. See, in America, you can't like, dude, like you can if you dish it out, you better be able to fucking. You better hope that the dude dishes it out not as good as you, or because it's coming. Like no matter if you can't insult without also receiving in America.
Yeah,
Everyone's
but there's a
smart-
weird.
Everyone's a smart ass.
There is a
Everyone's-
weird thing though with like it seems okay for somebody to be like, "Hey Rick, why are you so skinny?" And then if you turn around and go, "Why are you so fat?"
No,
then
but-
they would be like, "Hey,"
No, but- yeah,
for
but
some
that's one
reason,
thing.
fat people
No,
get
that happens.
they
though.
get more.
No, but
defense.
it does layers to this. Like you don't understand. Like I had the mother of my best friend starting telling people that she thought I was anorexic. like she was like, and
Like
they
you're
were
a
people were
model.
talking behind my back about like and I was just like, what? I eat like my meals normally. Like I eat like a
But
normal
who cares
person.
if you're anorexic? What are you, a fucking runaway model? Why is it you're a man? Why does
Like
that
no, but
matter?
it was just like, I mean.
I know it's shitty for sure, but
But at some point, no, but there's something that was comforting about saying this is who I am, and now you're gonna have to take it, and I don't give a shit about
I
what
love
you
how
think
you're
about it.
I love how you're comparing being skinny to coming out as gay.
to be
No, the struggle is not the same. But
I came out as skinny.
no, but like,
skinny. Fuck you, deal with it. Yeah.
but you don't understand like how much bullying I've taken because of it.
Sure,
So
yeah.
I'm not comparing the discrimination you get for being gay for sure.
Right,
Same
right.
with
But
being
definitely
Asian and
there's-
ugly. I came out as
There's a
ugly.
level.
Came out as ugly when you came out of your
I
mom.
came out as an ugly Asian guy. Like, I came out as ugly.
No,
as
but like
Asian.
imagine you take shit from people like insulting you for being Asian,
Yeah,
and,
exactly.
and you can withdraw and be ashamed of it and be like, oh, fuck, I don't know how to deal with this. To
Yeah.
changing to like,
Yeah.
no, this is who I am. Just fuck off.
Yeah.
No, I know what you mean.
Well, what do you guys say? That's a lot out of us
Yeah, that's
this time
pretty
around. Yeah, I'm fucking sweating from talking so much.
Yeah, I smell
Good
really.
job, dude.
I smell bad.
Yeah, that was fun. We got a lot of work to do.
This was gay.
All right, Vegas.
All
All right,
right.
you're acting like we just finished running like a game, played a game or some shit. We just got done playing a sport and we're exhausted. And now
Yeah.
we're like, hey,
Yeah.
I think I'm literally
Good.
exhausted right now.
Yeah, this is hot as
All right,
fuck.
good. Well, hey, we're gonna leave it there. Thanks for tuning in, man. We'll see you guys next time here at the Raw Comedy Podcast.
Yeah.
Later.
Later.
All right.
Subscribe, guys.
Subscribe.
See you next time.
Thank you for listening. We appreciate your support. Brought to you by Bangkok's weekly open mic and home for stand-up comedy.